Misfits and dope addicts are here.
That's not Rufus Wainwright, is it?
No.
No,
No.
because it's his birthday today.
Yeah.
And I was, and it's not Supertramp.
No.
Because it's Rick Davis's birthday. He's the singer for Super. You remember when Supertramp, Breakfast in America? It was like the most popular album
Huge.
at the time. It's not Don Henley.
No.
That was not an Indigo Girl.
No.
Birthday today. It's not the bass player for Extreme.
Pat Badger?
Yeah, Pat Badger.
Wow.
Carrie.
Wow.
That's why I knew Gina had no input into the
Yeah.
into the song this morning. so because it's Pat Badger's birthday.
She was having input, and then I went, nope. Just remembered.
so what?
So what?
On this day,
Yeah.
the godfather of P-Funk, the leader of Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton,
Huh.
was born.
How old is George Clinton?
He's 78 now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why he's not on my list. It's Keith Sweat's birthday too.
Oh, we could have.
No, we couldn't.
No?
I mean, we could have.
I meant to look it up because it says it didn't list a song for him. It just said New Jack Swing singer, and I don't know what New Jack Swing is.
You might recognize it if you hear
Well,
it.
but what is New Jack Swing? It must be some style of
song,
music,
isn't
but I've never heard of. No, it's not a song. It just says. I think it must be a style of singing.
We don't have that.
There's no Keith Sweat in there?
Well, we don't have that song.
Well, that isn't a song.
I want that.
Oh yeah.
Get it.
Get it. That must be New Jack Swing style singing.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Keith Sweat. Yeah. Oh no.
I can't do it with Keith Sweat.
Is it slow jams? The slow jams going now.
It's 2 + 1 - 1?
Woo, 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 woo.
New Jack Swing or swing beat music is a fusion genre spearheaded by Teddy Riley and Bernard Bell that was popular in the mid-'80s to the early '90s. The style originated from Janet Jackson's third studio album. I don't know why that happened, but it did. So, speaking of musical acts, I was listening to a commercial on my way to work this morning, and they were talking about coming to the Deer Valley Music Festival, Rodrigo E. Gabriela. Now,
Rodrigo and Gabriella?
well, no, but I mean, that's how they bill themselves. But shouldn't you say it Rodrigo E. Gabriela, not Rodrigo E. Gabriela? Shouldn't you go
You know-
Rodrigo E. Gabriela?
Speaking of things you're upset about listening to the
I'm not
radio
upset.
on the way in.
I'm just asking.
So,
No opine on that?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I do. You should say Rodrigo E. Gabriela, not Rodrigo E. Gabriela.
So you were listening to the news station, right?
I was listening to the news station, yes.
So the news station,
X96.
the news station, they have a new morning show over on the news,
Yes, they do.
and they are billing it as
Yes.
Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon.
Again?
Amanda Dixon has been there.
I know when I pointed this out when New Grant
I
came
know
on.
they
You
do
know?
it. It's such
It sounds better. It just sounds better.
she deserves top billing.
It sounds better. It just sounds better. That's all. That's
That
the
is-
only
no,
reason they do it.
Nope. Every time it sounds better with every man she's paired with.
Well, let's
it
see.
sounds better.
Let's see. You just set off a whole chain of stuff in my head. Every man she's with, the countless men.
There's 3 or 4 that I can think of,
Well,
and
let's
it's
see, let's
always
see.
man and Amanda.
Grant Nielsen and Amanda Dixon. It sounds better.
It was Grant and Amanda, and then
Grant and Amanda.
New Grant came
Yeah,
in.
Brian. Let's see. Brian. What was
Brian
Brian Doehead and Amanda
Yeah.
Dixon.
And I said at that point, she's the heritage part of the
Yes.
show. Clearly, she should have.
100%.
And that one would have sounded fine with Amanda Dixon first.
Of course.
But it's like Carrie and I. When we decided, we just sat there and went, well, so is it Carrie and Bill or Bill and Carrie? What sounds better? Carrie and Bill.
That's because it started with the K, the sharp K.
That's why, I mean, when we were partnered up, we said, who goes first? And there was no argument about it. We just said,
I think
see
you're
what sounds
being
better.
awfully generous because I think for someone that's been there as long as she has and been paired with many different co-hosts,
I agree.
and she always gets second billing, I think that sucks.
That's because this is her second profession. She's really a lawyer, Gina. You know that. So if she wants to just renounce the bar, and then maybe they'll give her top billing. I don't think. You know what I think?
What?
She doesn't care. Because if I were Amanda Dixon, I wouldn't care.
Well, she may not care, but I think it stinks.
Yeah, I think
She
she's
should have
earned
top
it.
billing. She's earned it. She's been there.
That's what I think.
Okay, well, you guys should send her some notes of support. Because
I'm worried
You
about.
know I'm not a fan of hers. I am not a fan of hers.
I just don't care.
I'm a fan of what's right.
But just on principle.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of what sounds better. And
Clearly.
I think Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon sounds better. Tim.
And they're saying his name wrong.
Well, it's Tib.
It's Tib. You listen to how he says his name. He says Tib.
Tib Hughes.
But this announcer gets the copy wrong every time. Say his name right.
I think it's the same guy that says Rodrigo E. Gabriela.
Tim says Tib.
T-I-B.
Tib.
Tib.
Well, Gina and I have a story to tell you a little later on. We'll be dragging the show down today a little bit, but Carrie's well rested, I think. Are you well rested?
Yeah.
Well rested. He'll keep us going. Let's get the show started in just a couple of seconds here. How about check-ins? 8. Let's see if you can with check-ins you can boost Gina and I. We boost Gina and me. We have fatigue.
You have no sleep.
2 hours. I got 2 hours of sleep. But anyway, check in with the Radio from Hell show right now. 877-602-9696. That's the number to call. And let's do one of those wrong answers only. How about, what's the best place to be when you want to be all alone with your thoughts? What's the best place to be when you want to be all alone with your thoughts? Wrong answers only.
Oh.
877-602-9696. Check in with the Radio from Hell show, won't you please?
All right.
Technology has evolved to the point.
Back in with the Radio from Hell show. We'll give it one little try. 877-602-9696. That's the number. You call, you just say, hey, we're here for you. We're ready to hear a show. We're ready for some entertainment.
So the holiday is Wednesday.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're not going to be here, right?
No.
We will not be here on Wednesday.
So the question is for the general public. Are they taking Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday off? Or
I
are
think
they
it's the
taking
other end.
Wednesday,
They would-
Thursday, and
I
Friday
think it's
off?
the other end.
That's the end you
Think
would
so?
take off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
And I'm going to lobby for us to take
I
it
think
off.
I think we may take at least Thursday off. I think we may. We'll talk about it later.
There are reasons.
You're for that, aren't you?
There are reasons.
We'll tell you about it at 7.
Okay.
All right. But anyway, check in with the Radio from Hell show and tell us the wrong answers only. Best place to go when you want to be alone with your thoughts. What's the best place to go when you want to be alone with your thoughts? Now we'll officially begin the program. Gina?
The Summer Farmers Market is now open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Historic Pioneer Park and continues every Saturday through October. Get more details at slcfarmersmarket.org.
The moon is on the wane. It is 73.7% of full. As Gina and I were journeying last night at about midnight, and the moon
Midnight, it was...
was 12:30. Moon was hanging low in the sky, and it looked really cool. The moon will set today at 11:37 a.m., today being Monday. It's the 22nd day of July in the year of our Lord, 2019, and this is North America's most exhausted radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Carrie Jack Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Marie Teresa Barberi. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show is Katie for short. And I heard that Hannah is here. And anybody else?
I think that's it.
Hannah.
That's it.
Hannah is here doing yeoman service, helping with
Oh,
the
no,
Radio from Hell.
Bailey's.
So all three of those people
Yeah.
are here too. Great. Okay. Now,
Now, has anybody...
no, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see.
No. Oh, one person, yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to Commuter Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys.
Chris, are you commuting on your way to work? Is that why you're a commuter, Chris?
I am.
Yeah. Where do you work? Do you mind telling us?
Not at all. I work at Clear One, just west of the airport.
Clear One, west of the airport.
Does that have something to do with aviation?
Oh, everybody knows what Clear One is. Otherwise, he would have told us, right?
Right, exactly. See?
Yeah. All right. Well, Chris, if you want to be alone with your thoughts, if you want some time by yourself, where do you go? Wrong answer only.
Movie theater.
Yeah, that would not be. That would not be.
Because you got to focus on the movie.
Yeah,
It's...
unless it's a terrible movie, I suppose. All right, thanks, Chris. Have a good day at
Good
Clear
talking to
One.
you guys. Take care.
We'll
Yeah.
see ya. Bye-bye. Jail.
Jail. I don't know. That's maybe a good place to be alone with your thoughts.
Public bathroom at USANA during intermission.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's
I think that's the winning answer
there.
right
You go,
there.
right there.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No.
Here's someone complaining. I live in Gilbert, Arizona. It sucks. I got all the Mormons and none of the holidays.
That's the bonus, usually.
I've been
But-
through Gilbert, Arizona.
Let's see.
It's nothing.
Somebody says IKEA,
Oh, yeah, you would
yeah,
want to.
yeah.
not alone with your thoughts
No.
there.
Who needs alone time? Someone says. Oh, you're a psychopath.
Do you need alone time? You never have alone time, do you, Gina?
Me?
Yeah.
I know, but I need it. I would like some.
We need to carve some alone time out for you.
Tim the Tree Guy, family reunion.
Yeah.
Jake in Housewares says Gilbert Gottfried narrating 50 Shades of Grey.
Which he has done.
Disneyland,
Mm-hmm. Yes, these are all wrong answers for sure.
next to my mother-in-law.
Amy says an Adam Sandler concert.
Unfortunately, Edward doesn't understand the question. I don't
don't
get
understand
it. I
the
don't
question.
understand the question. Well, that's a wrong answer.
It's really twisting his melon. I'm sorry, Edward. I think, yeah. Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah. It's going to be dreadful today.
Yeah, if I ever had
Hot.
alone time, I would just fall asleep,
Really?
like
Well,
Yeah, me too.
napping.
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is alone with your thoughts. You need to be conscious for
Right,
that. You
right.
can't just.
Unless you're not thinking of anything. Unless you got nothing but flies in there.
Yeah.
And go right to sleep. All right.
So let's see. We do traffic here.
Yes, we do.
Well, we would if we had any. I have a sponsor I have to read, though. So I'll just say I think this week is going to be weird having a holiday right in the middle of it. And I do think a lot of people are out of town because you're not driving right now, that's for sure. If you see something, want to share it with other friends of the program, and it's safe for you to do so, you can text it to us, 33986. Katrubis Volkswagen, Northern Utah's hometown Volkswagen dealership right in the heart of Layton, 1230 North Main Street between Antelope and Hillfield Road.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Amy Donaldson with sports and big boy news coming up, Stan.
on X96.
All right, 6:33 right now. We got Amy Donaldson with sports coming up. But first, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by.
Health insurance should be personal with doctors you know and trust in your neighborhood. Quality care from award-winning hospitals and doctors. That's what you get with University of Utah Health Plans. Choose you.
So the Top Gun movie.
Yeah.
Big Top Gun movie going to come. It's Top Gun 2, The Search for Curly's Gold.
That's not what it's called.
And it's, so it's Tom Cruise. And Val Kilmer would supposedly be in
Iceman.
it. He was, well, if this is any indication, he was spotted on a stroll in downtown New York City a few days ago. He doesn't look like he's in any condition to do anything. He is 59 years old. He confirmed in 2017 that he had throat cancer. Kilmer, who was sporting a Clippers hat, jeans, and what looked like a trachea breathing device, was not too responsive to a fan on the street that captured the actor on video.
He's on my Deadpool.
He looks awful. It's not just the trach; it's the way he's walking, the way he's dressed. I guess we don't. I thought maybe we'd have the picture.
Well,
there.
and
There.
he
That's
he's
horrible.
had weird.
Yeah.
He's had weird religious beliefs about medical care and.
I guess there's some rumor that I've passed on, but I'm alive and well, friends, he wrote earlier this month. Representatives for Mr. Kilmer did not respond to requests from TMZ for comment regarding his current health. Oh, page 6, I'm sorry, that's where this is from. To celebrate the trailer for the sequel of the 1986 film where he played opposite Tom Cruise, Kilmer posted a link to the video clip giving a nod to his co-star. He has been confirmed to return as Iceman. I think that maybe there'll be some sort of subplot where he's been horribly injured in an airplane crash.
I was going to say maybe he'll just call.
He'll be in a wheelchair. And
Hey, Maverick, it's Iceman. How are you? Hello.
wrapped up in blankets with sunglasses on, and so there you go. Kilmer makes appearances at various charity events, though. I guess
He was in town here for something.
He did Fanex, didn't he? I don't recall if he was there or did he cancel?
I don't
can't
know. I don't remember. So, Gina, this story for you.
Okay.
Just found this in InStyle magazine, and I know you love that.
It's one of my favorite magazines.
Unmarried women with no kids are the healthiest and happiest population subgroup,
Well,
says
you go.
an expert. Good news. I mean, if you are a young unmarried woman and you're feeling the rush to get married, maybe you hold off for a little bit.
say,
Okay?
I want to be happy. That's why I'm not going to get married or have
As
kids.
reported by The Guardian, professor of behavioral science Paul Dolan said on Saturday that while married people are happier than other population subgroups, that only applies to when their spouse is in the room and when they are asked how happy they are. Get it? When the spouse is not present, effing miserable, said Mr. Dolan, who teaches at the London School of Economics,
They
adding,
didn't ask me.
the healthiest and happiest population subgroup are women who have never married or had children. Okay.
I couldn't be any happier than I am.
Well,
I don't know
you
about
could be.
that. You could be if you
sounds
were
like-
unmarried
No, I
without
don't-
kids.
Yeah.
So more than 150 people made a pilgrimage to a tiny ghost town in the Skull Valley of Utah Saturday evening to stand with a days-long demonstration happening on one of the tallest mountains in Hawaii. People traveled from all over Utah and even flew into the state to head out to Yosepa, north of Dugway. The dirt road leads people to a spot that doesn't seem much at first until you learn about the history of Yosepa. It feels like, and feel the connection to Utah's Hawaiian and Polynesian community. It is a sacred and spiritual spot. This land was given to our ancestral Hawaiian people, said Elani Costa. She said the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints gave the land to Hawaiians who moved to Utah in the late 1800s. Now, the history of Yosepa, I think that's how you say it, Yosepa. It's Iosepa. The history of that little town isn't entirely happy. Susan and Jay Serraro say that that Jay's ancestors are buried in the cemetery there.
Oh.
one of the only remaining signs of a former town. There's just a little cemetery there now. The couple lives in Hawaii, and they're visiting Utah with land in the middle of the desert. They said they feel sadness when visiting because their ancestors were buried so far away. But they're standing in support with the people in Hawaii who are protesting a telescope being built on a mountain there. They consider the mountain sacred, and they say they don't want the mountain of Mauna Kea. They don't want it. They don't want a telescope on top of it. It's a sacred place to the Hawaiian people.
I
Seen
saw
them,
some,
yeah,
saw the clips on Twitter. Did you?
where they are arresting little old people.
Well, old people,
Many Hawaiians say that their ancestors are buried on that mountain on Mauna Kea. Now, let's see. The British Navy tried to stop Iran from seizing their tanker, but they weren't successful. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps seized the British tanker in the Strait of Hormuz last week. Intercepted radio communications show that the tanker kept trying to warn them off, but the Iraqis were the Iranians were having none of it. In recordings obtained by the shipping consultancy Dryad Global and posted on its website Sunday, a member of the Revolutionary Guard is heard ordering the British-flagged Stena Impero tanker to divert course toward Iran. Alter your course, the man says. If you obey, you will be safe. A British naval officer interrupts, telling Stena Impero that it has the right to proceed through the waterway, but the Iranians said no. Then they detained the ship.
That's in response to the British took one of Iran's ships.
Yeah.
So they're just
tit for tat.
Yep.
The House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler said yesterday that this week's hearing with Robert Mueller will air very substantial evidence of wrongdoing by President Donald Trump and make a public case for impeachment. Republicans pledged sharp questioning of the special counsel about what they see as a one-sided Russia investigation. Help us tell more of the stories, they say. This is a president who's violated the law 6 ways from Sunday, said Gerald Nadler. He argued that the Mueller report lays out very substantial evidence that Trump is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors. So what the Democrats will have to be careful, but if they question him correctly or well, Mueller's got thrown under the bus by William Barr, the Attorney General, and that, I think,
all he's going to say is, it's all in the report. I'm not commenting outside of it.
I think he may say more than that. There are good chances that he'll say more than that because he doesn't want his reputation besmirched by William Barr. I mean, William Barr belittled him, laughed at him, called the reports, inconsequential. Mueller knows that it's not. And so I think if he has the opportunity, he may say more about it. At least that's the hope of the Judiciary Committee. The Democrats on the Judiciary Committee. The Republicans will try to obscure and obstruct and stand in the way of him saying anything of substance.
You know what? I'm not going to get into it because we won. It doesn't matter. Well, we won.
A Louisiana police officer has suggested in a Facebook post that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should be shot.
I thought you'd make this a boner candidate.
Mocking her as a vile idiot. I didn't see it until I got here. Let's see. The comment was written in response to a phony news article that was shared that said Ocasio-Cortez said, "We pay soldiers too much." Not true. She never said that. Never said it.
Yeah.
Asked by NOLA.com for a reaction to the officer's now deleted post, what did the chief say? Well, it's disturbing, but I don't see it as a threat. What he should have said is, he's fired. Mm-hmm. But he did not. He threatened a public official.
Yeah.
He threatened really? And it's disturbing, but I don't see it's very consequential. I'll save that story. Here's the last one. A British woman says that she has several love interests.
Okay.
But none of them can hold a candle to Lumiere, a 91-year-old chandelier that she plans to marry, according to a report.
Now, when you say chandelier,
I mean chandelier.
You mean
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Amanda Liberty.
Oh, there's a
Is-
picture of the happy couple.
Amanda Liberty is 35 years old.
Go to x96.com/live.
She changed her name from Whitaker during a prior long-distance relationship she had with the Statue of Liberty. Is ready to finally settle down with the light of her life. Liberty, Ms. Liberty of Leeds, who identifies as an objectum sexual, is putting the spotlight on the little-known attraction to inanimate objects. The bride-to-be said she has been in an open relationship with multiple light fixtures,
Is this real?
but decided to get hitched to Lumiere, which she regards as female. She acknowledges that she can't marry her suspended sweetie in the traditional sense, but insists that her love is valid. I am determined to have this commitment ceremony to prove that I'm here for Lumiere and that my love is going to last, she said. I restore chandeliers in my spare time so they can continue to interest people as they like to be the center of attention. That's what they like, and it's the energy I get from them, she said.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh no.
Oh, yes, yes.
I've been burnt by you before.
That's them.
Is he cheating
C'est
on you?
alors she has emerged.
No, that's her. All right, that's it.
All right, weather traffic.
Brought to you by Summer is definitely here in Utah. Celebrate with air conditioning at the summer sales event inside Wasatch Front Kia on Riverdale Road. And you will want to go there today for the air conditioning. How do you feel about 102 today?
Not good. Mm-mm.
Mohammed's supposed to have soccer practice today. I think I'm going to make an executive decision and not send him to soccer practice today.
Mom!
I won't tell him. It's summer. He doesn't know what day it is until I tell him where he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to do.
So just don't tell him.
Traffic brought to you by Jiffy Lube Multicare. Get services on brakes, batteries, spark plugs, and more. Jiffy Lube, you can do more in a jiffy. JiffyLubeUtah.com to buy oil changes online and save big. Slow traffic northbound I-15 approaching Point of the Mountain due to debris in the road. A bumper and a tire were stuck in lanes of travel, and a friend of the program also sent that in at 33986. Thank you for that.
All right, thank you very much. Is sports sponsored?
Yes, Snowbird, no off-season with tram rides, hiking, activities at the base. Plenty of ways to take summer head-on. Plan your escape at snowbird.com.
Oh, damn it.
And
Here it is. Here we go.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
here she is, Amy Donaldson, to do some sport. Amy, did you hear that story about unmarried women with no kids are the happiest population subgroup?
I did not hear that.
Unmarried. Yeah, the guy says if you're a man, get married. If you're a woman, don't bother.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would. I don't know. I might have some issues with that.
You
Yeah.
might. Okay.
Yeah.
Amy's going to tell us about what's going on in the sporting world. It's kind of a slow time of the year for sports, I know.
It is slow, but not slow enough in some regards. And there's some soccer though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Real Salt Lake earned a 1-1 draw at Minnesota on Saturday. They will play Tigres UANL Wednesday in that Ligas Cup quarterfinal. That on Monday.
You were just speaking a foreign language.
But tune in to X96 next Monday and hear very important sports, and he'll answer all your soccer questions.
Oh, okay.
See, he's going to tell you also. You'll have an in-depth report on how his fantasy team is doing.
He has a fantasy soccer team.
Good. Yes, and he will regale you with.
I can't wait.
Yeah, because I
can.
I heard it, and I can't remember any of it. So, other than he's very excited to share this with your listeners.
Okay.
Let's see, Utah Royals, they earned a 2-2 draw with Portland. They welcomed home 3 of their World Cup players to the championship team, one of whom is now, hopefully it's dying down, but Kristen Press was involved in a controversy about a tweet in which she thanked Barstool Sports for their support. And apparently her team, who recommended this association, is older than me, and doesn't know what Barstool Sports is.
Yeah, it's nasty.
It's nasty to women. It's
horrible.
Super nasty. And so I actually shared at x96.com a column that Brad Rock wrote where he sort of defends her and says...
She didn't know.
She didn't know. Yeah. This is not in keeping... If you know her and then you know this company or this... It's online. You can look at it.
Barstool Sports is a misogynistic... crude.
And here's my biggest problem with Barstool Sports, that they bully women into using their videos. And so it's, we want to use your, you see this online on Twitter. Gina and I see it a lot on Instagram and Twitter. Hey, can we borrow your video? Can we use your video? We'll give you credit. Well, there have been some women who've not liked what Barstool Sports has on their website. So they say, no, we don't want to. Because they have like hottest woman you wanted. And really disgusting
it's all
stuff.
the worst.
It's
all the sports stereotypes.
It's like confirming every.
Yeah. For example, there's a story about Manny Pacquiao winning, and it's a woman's butt is the featured photo on their website. I would say, do not go and click on it, please, if you care about women at all.
I already did.
Wait,
but they even comment on things
See what
that
it
don't have
is.
anything to do with sports, like the whole Mackenzie Lewick thing.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do
and a
with
guy got
sports.
fired over that.
That's right. That got brought up in that.
A guy got fired over that, calling into question her life. Well, actually, what was rumored to be her life choices. Like these were not even confirmed. These were just people supposing this or supposing that.
So I don't fault Kristen Press for not knowing.
Yeah. So she has. She said it was her management team, and I'm here to tell you that they're probably my age or older, and they have no clue. They just. And here's the reason. And Brad didn't touch on this in his column, but I'll tell you. After 20 years of covering women's sports, her team asked her to do this because all they did was look at their social media reach. They have hundreds of thousands of followers.
So of course you want to be a part of that. They've
of
got
course,
followers.
as you're a woman athlete, you want that boost. You want somebody to give you that kind of love online, and so that's where it's at. That's what happened. I've had people asked to associate with me or with the people I work for because all they did was look at our social media boost, and they have not a clue what we are or what we're about.
It's that whole bro culture that drove me away from sports to begin with.
Exactly, which we've kind of, sort of at least quieted or sent to the corners. But yeah, they just bring it. It's out loud, and the only thing I can liken it to, if you saw the Man Show 20 years ago, 15 years ago, where they ended every episode with women jumping on trampolines.
It's a lot like that.
That's the kind of stuff you're going to find there, and so it's not anything that most women athletes want to be associated with. And she's done a lot to help women's athletics, and she's a very wonderful, open person. I feel badly about how it went down, but just keep in mind, most management teams are old people, and we don't know how to do the Twitter.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Yeah. So, and also, if you really want to make yourself angry, because I'm in a mood today.
I like when Amy's in a mood.
Go watch the clip at x96.com of Northwestern head football coach Pat Fitzgerald explaining why there's a decline in college football attendance.
So without us watching it, give us a little.
It's because of the kids and their
thumbnail.
dang phones, Gina.
Oh.
I went to a restaurant with my wife. We had a date, and I looked around, and there were people with their heads down on their phones, and they're just not experiencing life the way it was meant to be experienced.
So they're not going to games because of that?
I mean, he may have a point,
No,
but
he
that's
does
not
not
the
have a
reason
point.
people are not going to college
Exactly.
football games.
He and let me just say, I know from being around people my age, it's not the kids.
No.
We're all addicted to the
Sure.
electronics, right? I'm as guilty as anyone. My husband is older than me, and if you tried to pry his phone out of his hand, God help you.
We don't allow phones at the dinner table or when we're out to eat.
Yeah, we tried that,
We
but
can't.
when your dad does it,
Yeah, that's, you got to lead
Well,
by
I'm the
example.
dad and I don't do it.
yeah. So
I
yeah.
mean, occasionally you want to look something up, but basically phones stay in the pockets or
Yeah, and especially those of us who don't have kids at home, like our kids are adults. So, but I liken it back to, I used to watch old people at like Village Inn or something like that, and they would just be reading a paper or staring out the window, and they weren't always engaged in some riveting conversation.
But that's not why people aren't going to football games.
No, it has nothing to do with it. And what it did was it looked at attendance over Division 1 to 3. So it looks at all divisions of football. And there's a lot of reasons for the decline in football. I will tell you that part of that reason is the cost of tickets has gone up. Well, as stadiums have been improved and college coaches are making millions of dollars, for the first time in school history, Utah's fall camp will be closed to the media. So
why is that?
Because they might tell their secrets and they get more control and they control the message if they don't open the camp. And so they can tell you that it allows them to focus on football. They don't have to deal with the media, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the access we had was so limited and ridiculous. the only reason I liked it was to listen to people make arguments about the team and how they might do based on watching second and third string players at practice.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, when you can't cover something, you can't go, if they didn't let you go in and listen to the debate in Congress, it only increases the level of distance from the public to the product, right, to the thing, and it leads to misunderstandings. It's easy to misunderstand something that you didn't see firsthand, that you didn't hear, that you didn't watch. So I think it's a horrible move.
Could it also have something to do with the fact that people the NFL is experiencing a real problem with the safety of the game, and people are considering football as it's not safe anymore. They don't want their kids to play it, and so they don't want to go to the games.
That's got a lot to do with it, I
absolutely think that's and there's more options now,
Yeah.
right? There's so many more options for your money. And
air hockey's gaining in a
I
really
don't.
in
pickleball,
prominence.
Bill.
Pickleball, air
Yeah.
hockey, they're really gaining.
Our attorney Ed Brass weighing in. There is no decline at Ohio State University. Of
And
course.
he's right.
Is he
And
right?
Interestingly, Pat Fitzgerald, who says this, it's because of phones. He just made that up on the stand. I'm convinced. His school enjoyed the greatest increase in attendance last year. So
Because we take their phones away from them at the stadium.
If he's making the broader point that we have more entertainment options than we
he's saying
ever
you're
have
experiencing life through a screen. He likened it to, and like I said, it's at x96.com, but it's, when you go to a concert, you see this all the time, people taking selfies, they're taking videos. When I go hiking, I've done it. I periscoped a hike when I was in the Redwood National Forest, and I thought, I'm just doing this for myself, right? Who's gonna? And there were like 16 people watching the video, and God bless them. I don't know, but maybe I would do that. Maybe I'd be like, man, this guy's an idiot. I'm gonna watch him fall down the mountain.
I'm terrible. I don't have pictures of family vacations and stuff because I want to be on the vacation. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I want to be on the vacation. I don't want to be taking pictures.
And see, I am a total. Well, and I think some of it comes from my reporter days.
You want to document your.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know quickly, though. You can the bees. They're going to have fireworks the 23rd and 24th if you want to go. And there's also rodeo. Your favorite, Carrie.
Rodeo. Okay.
Rodeo.
Yeah.
God.
Probably get you some VIP tickets.
Oh, hey. Thanks. All right.
All right. Thank you, Amy Donaldson. You can follow her on Twitter. It's AD on Sports. You can read Amy's writing in the Deseret News and listen to her podcast, Voices of Reason. Okay, there you go.
All that.
Slow traffic northbound I-15 approaching Point of the Mountain. There were some bumpers and tires in lanes of travel that UHP is trying to remove. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 330 Layton Parkway in Davis County. And I don't see anything in our message stream from friends of the program letting us know what they see. But if you see something and it's safe for you to text it into us, 33986.
All right. Thank you very much. Round one of your boners coming up in the next hour. Stand by.
The school supplies many of us take for granted. A new backpack, a decent pair of shoes, a nice pair of pants. 6 with Geek News Specialist Kerry Jackson.
All right, 7:03 right now.
Got Boner of the Day coming up in just a couple of minutes. The first round of Boner voting, I should say. So I don't know. Is it apparent that we're tired today?
No.
Seem okay? Because I feel terrible.
Yeah, me too.
Gina and I got involved in a little project which required us to leave Salt Lake at 6 o'clock last night and not return to Salt Lake until 12:30 or so.
It was
this
1
morning.
o'clock when I crawled in bed at 1 o'clock.
Now my wife has been gone all week, and I walked into the house. First of all, she texted me as we were on our way back to Salt Lake from the far-flung town that we were in, which will remain nameless at this point. We can't tell you everything about what we did. It's a secret mission.
I mean, we can say that it was a TV show.
It was a TV show. Anyway, so
I heard the circumstances, and that's when I said, good luck with that.
yeah, I knew it would be like this.
I said to Bill last night, I'm like, Kerry would be hating this so much.
Completely miserable.
Yeah,
and I'd
it
be
is.
here and be completely miserable in front of everyone.
It is miserable, but it was fascinating at the same time. It's doing TV shows and movies, as Kerry knows, and I knew it was going to be like this. It's these stretches of intense boredom and nothing happening, and then all of a sudden things happen.
Yeah.
Like there was one point last night where we'd been sitting around for a couple of hours, I think, and then Bill got up to use the bathroom, and of course, the minute he left the room, okay,
Come on, you guys, come on, we gotta go.
We're
We gotta
ready
go.
for you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Where's Bill?
Where'd he go?
He's in the
He'll be
bathroom.
right out. He'll be right. Don't worry. Okay. But so this project anyway, we'll be able to tell you more about it, and it'll. There is a chance that you will never see it.
Really?
But I think probably it will end up.
Because it has to. There's several days of filming, and depending on what happens in those days, whether it's shown. But we're sitting there last night for hours, and Bill's tracking his wife's progress driving home from
Las Vegas.
He's like, oh, she's in Lehigh now.
There's a little tracking device in the car that shows you where you can actually see it driving down the highway. Do you have that picture, Katie, that I took of Gina? Have you got that handy that I sent you? So when we were hanging around, her son Festus drove us to where we went because we knew we would be really tired. And we were hanging around in this
an
office waiting for our call to go onto the set, as it were. And you don't have it? No?
Oh, they're not listening.
They're not paying any attention?
No, they don't know.
No attention.
No, Bailey says he doesn't have the picture.
I sent it to Katie, and Katie didn't do anything with it. But we're in this office, and there's a pillar there, metal beam, and it's covered with stickers, and there's an X96 sticker right there. I posted the picture on Twitter.
You put it on Twitter. Right?
At RFH Bill, if you want to see it. It's.
But we're in this office. Bill says office. It's an abandoned building that they have converted into an office just for the production of this show.
Yeah. It's interesting. Even though it was tedious and long, everybody on that crew that we dealt with was unflaggingly nice. I mean, we're so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much. Oh, you did such a great job. We really appreciate it. Any kind of food you want, they have catering and all of that.
Bill, please, craft
services. I'm sorry, craft services.
Everybody knows what you did. I'm getting texts here.
Really?
Yeah, everybody knows what you did.
Do they? Well, we're not going to say it on the radio.
It said, those of us who live in that far-flung town appreciate your participation in the secret project.
Yeah, well,
we'll be able to talk about it in a couple days.
While we were engaged in this project, and we promised that we would keep it vague like this, while we were engaged in this project, I asked them, I said, there are probably people here who are going to recognize us. Is that a problem? And they said, no, not really. And so we made up a little story about Well, we're just out here.
A backstory.
You were characters?
Yeah.
We had a backstory.
Well, we were with the characters of ourselves.
You were fan fiction?
in case anybody did come up to us and say,
Hey.
What are you doing here?
yeah, hey, you're Bill Allred, aren't you? And
It's awfully late, aren't you?
And it happened.
it did happen, and I just said, well, we were out this way.
We just happened to be out here.
We were out this way doing some stuff for the show, and
more and more texts coming
yeah.
in. They know exactly what you were doing.
yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of people there who.
Well, there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, there were.
There in this small town we were in.
Far flung.
I'm
Far-flung.
sorry.
Yeah.
There were 100 people.
Must have been at least 100 people lined up.
Like, where did these people come from? There's no
Well,
one here.
It's a bigger town than 100 people, Gina.
But
that was not the entire town. I
No,
promise
but-
you. But really nice people. Not only the people who worked on the show, but just any of the local people that we kind of came in contact with. Really nice, very nice people.
So if you go to x96.com/live,
Oh,
there's
there it is.
picture of the pole
That's
in the abandoned building where we were staged.
We're everywhere. We are Legion. That's what we are. We're everywhere. Yeah, so there's Gina pointing to the X96 sticker.
And that was about midnight last night when we discovered the sticker.
I checked the other stickers, by the way, before I posted the picture to make sure there wasn't anything filthy on it. They're all fine.
There could have been.
Yeah, but no, they're all fine. But,
Nothing filthy.
No. So anyway, we'll tell you more about the project, and we may have to do some more of it Wednesday at the same time. And if that's the case, we'll take a day off afterwards.
A lot of people take the day after Pioneer Day off.
I was
So,
thinking,
Carrie,
Well,
you get a day off, maybe. No? You don't want a day off?
You act like I have all these days I can just use.
No, this is not
wouldn't
it.
count
This is
against
for
you.
work.
This won't count against you.
How do you figure?
Because we talked to Todd
We will
already.
make sure
Okay.
it won't count against you.
Because Todd already told us we could have taken today off, but Bill wanted to come to
I
work
have
today.
stuff I have to do today. That's why, and I said I might as well just.
Me too. I have a nap I have to do today.
I mean, I guess I could have come in at 10 o'clock and done those things, but and that's probably what I should. My wife was just, she said, "What are you? I thought you were taking the day off. What's wrong with you? You can't do this. It's not good for you.
It's not.
You can't. I'm worried about you driving. I'll be fine.
That's why we had Festus drive last night. So,
Yeah,
and he gets up the exact same. He works the same time we do. He's had to get up early too. But,
and he had farther to go.
yeah.
Did you let him take your car home?
No. No, he's driving the car from Volkswagen Southtown. He had a fine car to drive home. No, it's not on the
okay.
No, it's not. We do have boners coming up along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo.
Here are the candidates for round one. Boner candidate number 1, Say No More. Boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad. And boner candidate number 3, because what would happen if you did hear from Pete Buttigieg? What would happen?
Oh, you found that story. All right, there we go. Round one of your boners, Big Boy News, all coming up. Traffic, Gina, do you have it?
It's not so bad this morning. I do think a lot of people took the week off because we have a holiday midweek, but I have a crash northbound I-15 at milepost 284. This is near SR 92, the Timpanogos Highway junction in Utah County. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 330 in Layton, but that's it. Pretty light traffic so far this morning. Not much to tell you about.
All right, thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back with round one of your boners, Big Boy News, all on the way. Shamrock Plumbing.
Yep, 30 years Shamrock Plumbing's been the contractor that Utahns turn to for good plumbing services. You can really trust Shamrock Plumbing. They have certified licensed technicians, which not the case with some of the other plumbing firms out there. No job too big or too small for Shamrock Plumbing. They do just the typical plumbing emergencies. I've had them there they've been in my house on Sundays because of flooding in the basement, that I had to take care of.
I've just had them do little jobs, but they're always good.
Yeah, you call Shamrock Plumbing if you're in the market, by the way, for water heater or water softener. Call Shamrock Plumbing. They have an entire department dedicated solely to water heaters and softeners. and also water purification systems. They do residential, they do commercial. They handle everything when it comes to plumbing. So call Shamrock Plumbing at 801-295-1690 or check out their website at shamrockplumbing.net.
9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, 19 minutes after 7, it is time for round 1 of your boners. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You'll decide with your votes of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it's secured a spot in the Boner Dome. It's not boner of the day yet. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. We do this again at 8:20 with 3 more candidates. We take the winner of each round and throw them both into boner fight. At 9:20 this morning is when boner of the day is decided by you. Right now you're picking the champion for round 1, so choose wisely. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote. And one of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a gift certificate to Feldman's Deli.
Wow. That's nice.
Yes.
All right, here's boner candidate number 1. Say no more. Pasco County sheriffs, this is Florida, are not without a sense of humor, saying that they got the irony of a man's street nickname after encountering him during a standard trespassing call. According to the report, Michael Cullen provided deputies with a fake name on multiple instances as they informed him he was being trespassed from a local business. Mr. Cullen continued to provide the name Eric Sanchez, despite deputies informing him that they didn't believe that his name was really Eric Sanchez.
You're not Eric Sanchez.
Mr. Cullen was trespassed, or he was trespassing, I guess, and he began to leave the area as deputies questioned other individuals in the area who said that Mr. Cullen's nickname is Say No More. Deputies ran...
Say No More?
Say No More. Deputies ran Mr. Cullen's photo through the system and discovered his real identity and that Mr. Cullen was wanted on a felony warrant. Mr. Cullen was arrested on the warrant and additionally charged with misdemeanor obstruction for providing the deputy with a fake name because he was scared of going to jail. Mr. Cullen booked into the jail in Land O'Lakes, Florida on a warrant and the new charge. His nickname is Say No More. Everybody knew him. Boner candidate number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad.
Oh, yeah, I saw
Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar's face is contorted into an attitude-filled pout, and she appears to be toting a large gun. Below her are doctored images of 3 fellow Democratic congresswomen, Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts. According to the movie poster style picture that was recently shared to an official Facebook page for Republican leaders in Illinois,
oh boy,
the 4 minority lawmakers are the stars of the Jihad Squad. Political jihad is their game, reads an all-cap text on the fake poster. If you don't agree with their socialist ideology, you're racist. The meme was reportedly...
No. Telling people to go back to the country they came from
is racist.
That's racist.
The meme, which reportedly first appeared Friday on the Facebook page of the Illinois Republican County Chairman's Association, has since been withdrawn after backlash from top state leaders in both parties. On Sunday, the association's president, Mark Shaw, apologized and announced that the post had been taken down. It's unclear if the poster was created by the organization, but its logo was featured on the image.
Oh, really?
So that's even worse if they weren't just reposting it, if they created it.
It's like an endorsement.
Yeah, I believe they created it. A couple of days ago, an image which was not authorized by me was posted on a Facebook page of the Illinois Republican County Chairman's Association. Mr. Shaw wrote, "I condemn this unauthorized posting. It has been deleted. I'm sorry if anyone who saw the image was offended by its contents." I think you should say, I understand that people who saw this image were probably offended by its content. Not, if you were offended, I'm sorry. If you weren't offended, great.
Yeah, then it's fine. We're all good.
Yeah. Boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, because really, what would happen if you did hear from Mayor Pete Buttigieg? What would really happen?
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo brought to you by
Grab an ice cold fountain drink for only 99 cents at Maverick. Spend trail points at Maverick.com for Drift versus Lift sweepstakes entries. Maverick Adventures First Stop.
I love this story. I heard it late Friday, I think. A mysterious black bird began showing up outside the Capitol Hill offices of Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes. A large raven on the windowsill.
Did he say never more?
It was unusual. You know, Jeannie, you think just like these people here in the Attorney General's office because they named the raven Edgar.
Oh, did they really?
Yes. It's unusual to see a bird that size perched on the window, unafraid of people on the other side of the glass, tapping on the glass to get their attention.
Hello? Never more.
And for a month, the bird kept coming back. The employees, as I said, named it Edgar and wondered if the bird was good or bad luck. We snapped pictures, said Richard Pyatt, the communications director for the AG's office. We left croutons out for the bird to eat. We enjoyed the friendly presence of this raven, and it would come back every day. Turns out the bird wasn't all that mysterious. Somebody put two and two together and said, there's a raven missing from the Tracy Aviary. And sure enough,
rogue raven?
The bird's real name is Cash, and her handlers were able to retrieve her Saturday from the Capitol. She apparently got loose or was
She heard there were croutons at the Capitol.
No, Reyes has croutons.
I'm added to the.
Sean Reyes has croutons.
I love croutons.
Oh, we're all happy and grateful she's back where she belongs, said Rich Pyatt. We in the AG's office confess we're a little sad that our mysterious visitor isn't outside the window anymore. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Well, go visit him, Richard.
Yeah, go to the aviary. A Utah couple was shot to death in Mexico on Thursday, according to a Mexican news site. The couple's 12-year-old child was injured during the shooting. The family was driving through the community of Petitlan in the state of Guerrero, 3:30 in the morning on Thursday. They failed to stop at a police checkpoint for whatever reason, and were shot. The news site identified the victims as Paul Nielsen and Janeth Vasquez. According to another Mexican news outlet, Governor Hector Astudillo Flores said that the incident is reprehensible from any point of view. It's a priority issue to investigate. The family was reportedly driving from Acapulco to a coastal tourist town, Zitapa Juratanejo. Nielsen's sister-in-law, who lives in Utah, confirmed the deaths. The family is fundraising to fly their bodies back to the Utah.
Such a strange story.
Well, I got a police checkpoint, and they didn't stop, but who knows what. So maybe the governor of that state will investigate. His new book is titled Utah Politics: The Elephant in the Room. Rod Decker. He said he's been writing it for quite some time. He said it changed his thinking about Latter-day Saints.
Oh, really?
Decker, whose name has, of course, been synonymous with Utah politics and news reporting, spoke about his 15-year project. He's been working on this book for 15 years. It delves into causes and effects of Utah's sharp turn into a Republican state. 1976 was what the Republican ascendancy, or was when the Republican ascendancy started, right after Roe versus Wade, he said, adding that Mormons largely resisted the sexual revolution. The word Latter-day Saints uses family. That's what they say. The words the sex rebels used was sex, drugs, rock and roll.
The sex rebels?
The sex rebels.
I'd rather read that book.
He contended
Tell
that
me more about these sex rebels.
I go into it in great detail.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, Rod.
He contended that that had a profound effect on. It was the hippies that sex, drugs, and rock and roll had a profound effect on Utah culture and made them become more and more conservative.
It scared them.
Yeah, essentially. Let's see. Search continues at Strawberry Reservoir. 2 men missing.
Brothers.
They were fishing. They were last seen on Strawberry Reservoir 4 days ago. Thursday afternoon, searchers found the empty boat of Jim Gardner of Salem and Mark Gardner of Pleasant Grove. As of late Sunday evening, the men still hadn't been found. And the boat, by the way, the motor was come up to the shore, and the motor was running. State park rangers and sheriff's deputies were called in and, excuse me, spotted after somebody spotted the empty boat. They can't find them. They say if they don't have any luck today, they may scale back.
They're still missing.
The search, yeah. 50,000 people lost power in Brooklyn. And that's not good because it's so hot. The reason they lost power?
Why?
Con Ed said we shut down part of the grid.
It was just overloaded.
If we hadn't shut it down, everybody would have been without power. 30,000 customers in Brooklyn, in and around the neighborhoods of Canarsie, Mill Basin, and Flatbush.
I wonder, if they're going to do it on purpose like that, if they send out some alert saying,
I don't know,
letting you know we're shutting down power, so maybe you should leave your home and go somewhere else.
Sunday night spokesman for Con Ed said that the affected area of the shutoff was, he doesn't say whether or not they alerted people or not. The whole system is overloaded. Donald Trump, the same weekend that he demanded that the squad of progressive congresswomen apologize to Israel, decided to retweet a notorious far-right British commentator who has blamed Jewish leadership for a lethal attack on a U.S. synagogue. One-time journalist and former UK The Apprentice contestant Katie Hopkins also touted a final solution for Muslims following a terror attack, using, of course, the same phrase Adolf Hitler's Nazis employed to refer to the annihilation of Jews in Europe. The one-time Daily Mail columnist was fired from her job at a British radio station in 2017 after that comment, The Guardian reported. She has also tweeted that Islam disgusts me, she says, and has compared migrants to cockroaches.
He retweeted her twice.
Weeks ago, Trump retweeted Hopkins' homage to the rise of right-wing leaders around the world. What a time to be alive, she gushed. Trump retweeted a Hopkins message on Saturday as proof that he didn't encourage the incendiary "Send Her Back" chant at his North Carolina campaign rally, referring to Ilhan Omar. And he stood there while it was going on, and Hopkins posted the video of him standing there and nodding the whole time they were chanting.
No, it's proof of something else about him.
By the way, she said, "How I wish we had this leadership in the UK."
Oh, good Lord.
So,
but we're still questioning what his...
I'm not.
I know what he's all... I've known it for 2 years.
I'm not.
I'm president, and you're not.
I tried to tell you before you voted for him.
Carrie, you're not talking to
I'm not talking
to...
Yeah.
They're not listening.
And finally this...
I would hope that they would have come back and you know... Okay, we don't need you were right. We don't need that.
It is dangerously hot across much of the country this weekend. So hot, in fact, that police in Braintree, Massachusetts, are imploring would-be criminals to hold off on any illegal activity until Monday, if you would, please. The Braintree Police Department asked the community to put a pin in crime until the heat wave passes. Quote, "It is straight up hot as soccer balls out there," the department wrote in the Post. Yes, a police department really used the phrase "hot as soccer balls." The department confirmed to CNN Saturday that the Post is indeed legit. The heat is criminal enough. The National Weather Service has issued excessive heat warnings for parts of the eastern United States. But committing crime in this sort of weather is next-level henchman status, the department said, not to mention dangerous to the offender's health. Stay home, blast the AC, binge Stranger Things Season 3, play with the Face app, practice karate in your basement, police said. We'll all meet again on Monday when it's cooler. The message is signed, The Popo.
The Pope.
So there you go. All right, that's it.
All right. Weather, traffic. Sports if you want to.
No, there are no sports. Weather brought to you by Snowbird. No off-season with tram rides, hiking, activities at the base. Plenty of ways to take summer head-on. Plan your escape at snowbird.com. I'm opting to keep Mohammed home from soccer today because it's going to be 102.
Well, you have my permission to do that.
Yeah. 100, really, really hot today. Traffic, let's see. We've got A crash southbound I-15 approaching 7th South in Clearfield. Cars are on the right shoulder, but traffic is backing to Roy. Crashes northbound I-15 in Lehigh. The first crash is on the left shoulder at SR-92. The other is on the right shoulder at Point of the Mountain. And let me check our message stream, see if friends of the program have sent us anything via text. Nope, but if you see something and it's safe for you to share it with other friends of the program, you can text it to us 33986.
All right.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Because what would happen if you heard from Pete Buttigieg? Cumulus Media, one of the largest broadcasting companies in the country, has blocked one of its country radio station hosts from airing his interview with 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
Now, see, I didn't hear it was a country station.
Yeah, Blair Garner, whose self-titled Nash FM radio show is syndicated nationally across more than 150 stations, interviewed Buttigieg on Wednesday while the Democratic candidate visited Nashville, Tennessee as part of his campaign tour. It's important to Pete to reach out to voters everywhere, said his campaign manager, Liz Smith. We've made it a point on this campaign to go outside the traditional political media bubble. That's why we reached out to Blair on the country station about an interview.
Okay.
Blair has a pretty big audience, and it's an audience that doesn't typically hear directly from Democratic candidates for president.
Okay.
In his roughly 20-minute interview, Mayor Pete discussed meeting country music icons Brad Paisley and Tim McGraw. He called on the Democratic Party to reach out to more communities traditionally viewed as right-leaning. I think our base tends to be more conservative, Garner told Buttigieg of his program's listeners, and the fact that you, from the Democratic ticket, are the singular candidate to reach out and to say, may I please be on your show, that you're reaching out to listeners, I think, well, we all have to embrace that and be appreciative of that.
Great. That's that reaching across the aisles thing we keep hearing about.
But Cumulus Media decided to spike the interview, blocking Garner and affiliate radio stations from airing any part of it.
Why?
He said, my employer decided I couldn't air it, he tweeted with a link to the interview published on his personal SoundCloud account. Garner had intended to run the interview beginning Monday, a source close to the radio told Huffington Post. In an email sent to affiliates Friday morning and obtained by the Huff Post, Garner said he planned to include 2 segments of the interview in his show and broadcast the full exchange in a subsequent podcast. It is not in any way, shape, or form my intention for our show to become political, the host of the show wrote in email, but because someone clearly saw the value of our listeners, I felt secure in affording him that opportunity. But no, Cumulus Media said, he says, I've been told the interview cannot air.
But no explanation why?
I was proud. Well, I don't think you needed an explanation.
The explanation I got in my radio newsletter this morning was they were citing the equal time rule.
That's very easy to fix.
To which I said, okay.
Sure.
We have politicians on our show all the time, and I'll say it right now. If you're running for office and would like to be on our show, call us. I mean, we have an open policy.
We don't exclude anybody.
No.
So they're calling it an act of cowardice for a company whose slogan is "Where every voice matters." Boner candidate number 3. And what would happen if you did hear from Mayor Pete anyway, huh?
All right, there you go. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, Say No More. The Florida man arrested after telling police that his name is Say No More. Boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad. A meme calling those 4 Democratic women the Jihad Squad, and doing a movie poster. It was the GOP, the Republican Party chair in Illinois, was their website where that was posted. And Boner candidate number 3, because what would happen if you heard from Mayor Pete?
All right. It is time for you to consider who should win this round. Who of these 3 candidates is the worst? Which one should go forward to Boner Fight and possibly become Boner of the Day? 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Katie will take your vote in the producer's booth. Or you can go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting July 22, 2019, and vote there. You only have 4 minutes to do it. Now, if it wins here, it's not Boner of the Day yet. It'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. That happens at 8:20. 3 more candidates. We'll take each winner, put them both into the Boner Dome. 9:20 this morning is when Boner Fight happens, and you decide Boner of the Day then. Right now, you're picking the champion for round 1. Let's go. You've only got 4 minutes. Here we go. Round 1.
X96 Radio from Hell.
All right. Time to award round one of your boners.
And that is brought to you in part by
Oh, jeez.
one of the worst
Oh, just
one of the worst nachos I've ever had. Ugh.
those weren't nachos. I don't even know nachos, and I know enough to know those weren't nachos.
All right.
And Feldman's Deli on 20th East, 27th South, Utah's only authentic Jewish deli, now serving breakfast and lunch Tuesdays through Saturdays, dinners Thursday through Saturday, music Friday and Saturday nights. Everyone meets at feldmansdeli.com.
And Devin won a Feldman's Deli gift card, which he can use like tomorrow.
Because they're closed today.
Yeah. So we had boner candidate number 1, say no more. That's what a Florida man told the police his name was. He was arrested. Boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad. Illinois Republicans doing a mock-up poster with the 4 women of color who've been called out by President Trump. And they made it up like a movie poster and called them the Jihad Squad. And if you don't listen, if you think that they're good, you're racist if you call them out or whatever. And that was done by the Illinois Republicans. And boner candidate number 3, because what would happen if you heard from Mayor Pete? Really? I mean, would your life change? Would it ruin your life? But Cumulus would not allow one of their radio stations, a country station, to air an interview that the jock had done with Mayor Pete. And the winner was boner candidate number 2, the Jihad Squad.
All right. There you go. That's the winner of round 1's voting. It has secured a place in the Boner Dome for Boner Fight. It might be Boner of the Day. Round 2 voting coming up at 8:20. 3 more candidates. We'll get a winner there. Put them both against each other at 9:20 this morning. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day with Boner Fight.
Well, I stayed at a Airbnb or VRBO on my vacation, and they usually leave you a list of
How the house works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's how you open the garage door.
Here's the Wi-Fi password.
Here's where the barbecue is.
And some instructions about keeping it clean. Now, we were at a beach house, so I understood the rules that they had at this house. They said, please don't track sand inside if you can help it. There's a shower outside. Try to get as much of it off as you can, which that makes sense.
Clogs up the drains.
Yeah.
And a similar thing in La Jolla when we stayed there, yeah.
Yeah, just please don't just, which I get that. But I saw this story today. Somebody posted on their Instagram. It says, actual rules from an Airbnb I stayed at last night. And these were bathroom specific Airbnb rules. The rules mostly asked for bathroom users to keep the space dry, including using the sink, quote, without splashing the mirror.
Okay.
Using a bath mat when taking a shower. Okay. Squeegee the shower after use.
All right.
Okay. Also using a special towel to dry the inside of the shower. That's maybe a little weird. But they also went further. There's a toilet brush next to the toilet. And it says, the purpose of the toilet brush is to remove any signs of your passenger from inside the toilet, above and below the water line, from the underside of the toilet seat. The use of the toilet brush is not optional. Please make sure you do not leave any traces of your passage. Which is, I've never heard it referred to.
Well, you've heard of you pass something.
You're passing.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are.
It's Poop Chat on X96 Radio from Hell.
Here we go.
It also says men have to sit down for number 1 and number 2. Again, how they know this, I don't.
Well, what do you mean how they know it? They don't know it, but they're suggesting that you do that, which I do anyway now.
Yeah.
Always?
Yeah, pretty much. Almost always.
No matter where? I mean.
Well, like last night when we were using the communal bathroom in the at the place we were doing the TV stuff, I stood up, but
You were lucky to have the option for standing up.
At home, I will almost always sit down.
Well, then you don't need this message of telling. but
Well, leaving signs of your passage can be a problem. I mean, it really can.
I mean,
Just scattershot and it's all over. you know?
now, not that I like to discuss my own passage.
It's Poop Chat on X96
Here
Radio
she
from Hell.
goes. It's Gina Barberi's Alimentary Canal.
But I will say in my house,
Mm-hmm.
I make sure there is no evidence.
Yeah, if you. Yeah.
I like to leave it
As you found it?
as if no one had ever sat there before.
Are there rubber gloves and a sponge by the side of your toilet?
They're under the sink.
Uh-huh. And you get down on your hands and knees if you have to?
If necessary.
Uh-huh. And spend 2 or 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes?
Well, it's usually not that big of a...
Yeah, well, I don't know. Come
but
on.
I don't... it's just a common courtesy
I remember
for the
you had
people.
that IBS problem.
Common courtesy for the people in my house that you shouldn't have to deal with that.
And,
but it's odd in an Airbnb.
And I don't care for the if it's yellow, let it mellow either. I don't care for that.
No, flush the damn
Yeah,
toilet.
flush the toilet.
Nobody needs to know. Everybody should enter a restroom thinking that nobody's ever been in here before. I am the first person to encounter this.
Okay, well, now you're talking about your place. What about the Airbnb situation?
It's, even more so there. I don't want to think about all the people that have used that bathroom.
But they have.
Yeah.
But I don't want to think about
And
Well,
here's,
but again.
and here's the evidence and instructions
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. You have to think about it. You know that other butts have been on that seat.
See, if I think about that too much, I'll never, ever go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the question is do these instructions go too far?
I mean,
I would think they go a little too far.
do not leave any traces of your past. Because...
It's Poop Chat on X96 Radio from Hell.
I mean, when you rent one of these places, you pay a cleaning deposit.
See what?
Oh, okay.
But what I think what they're saying is they're not going to be able to monitor whether you do that. What they're saying is make sure that it's very clean when you leave. That's really all they're going
then
for.
say, but then just say that.
I think they're being emphatic.
Everybody's definition of clean is different, though, I'm afraid.
I think if you're this fastidious, you shouldn't be renting out your...
Well, except to people like you. Don't you want to go into the bathroom that's been treated that
Well,
way?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Gina. You're criticizing something that
true.
you actually want to have happen.
That's true.
Which is, it's again an example of the Barberi double standard. This is stupid, but I sure hope they do it for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you're not going to sit your keister down on just any old seat.
No passenger traces.
I don't know how you get by in this world.
I get by fine. Look.
You had to
I'm
use the
doing it
bathroom
right
twice
now.
last night, and I was surprised that you did.
So I'm mic'd up.
I went first. How is it in there, Bill? It was fine.
I'm mic'd up, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting like you do with TV. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait till we're done to use the bathroom because I'm mic'd up.
Yeah. And so,
like I have a microphone taped
Yes.
to my chest, and they're listening to everything I'm saying, no matter what.
And what do you hum little tunes to yourself while you're in there? Do you
No,
recite the Pledge of Allegiance?
But I'm thinking but it got to a point where it was clear they were going to need us for a while longer. That we weren't going to be done anytime soon. And I'm like, I can't wait anymore. I've got to go. And so I went in with the microphone and
how brave of you.
And
what do you care whether
whether
they hear it or not? My guess is they don't. They just turn it off.
Why would
until they need you?
No, I bet they listen.
Why would they? They have plenty of other chatter going on. They don't need to hear somebody tinkling. I'm going to go tinkle now.
It was very uncomfortable.
I hope you're listening. Get a load of this, is
No.
what I said. No, I don't care.
It was very uncomfortable.
It's not it's not like they're watching you.
I don't know. There's cameras everywhere there.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't trust any of it.
If you're a fetishist, I suppose it'd be a good job to have. Probably have a catalog.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Gina, that it was you face such hardships in this
know.
world.
I overcame.
I don't know how you do it.
I overcame.
I really don't.
All right.
It's Poop Chat on X96 Radio from Hell.
I-15 southbound is nearly at a standstill from Roy to 7th South in Clearfield. Highway patrol blocking 2 right lanes, trying to clean up debris from an earlier crash there. Crash northbound I-15 in Lehigh. There's a couple of them, actually. First crash is on the left shoulder, SR-92. The other is on the right shoulder at Point of the Mountain. Let me check our message stream quickly, see if anybody's sent anything in via text. Nope, but if you see something, you want to share it with friends of the program, you can send it to us, 33986. At Snowbird, there's no off-season, tram rides, hiking, activities at the base. Plenty of ways to take summer head-on. Plan your escape at snowbird.com.
All right, we will take a break. Bill Frost will be here talking TV right after this.
Oh, we got a giveaway, too.
Yes, we have a giveaway.
I think it's Real Big Fish tickets.
Coming up, stand by for that. Yeah. And round 2 of your boners on the way. Also, I've got a ton of geek news.
Oh, yeah?
Comic-Con this weekend.
Oh, I saw there was a bunch. Yeah.
Tons of stuff, so we'll get to that coming up. Stand by. Okay, UtahAdvocates.com.
Oh, listen, if you get into an accident of any kind, these are the people you should get a hold of. Find out if you think you have a case, you've been hurt in an accident, car accident, maybe it's an industrial accident, something at work, and you think, I'm not being treated right here. These are the people you want to call, the advocates, the law firm of Driggs, Bills and Day. You
should not have to worry about this kind of stuff. If you've been injured, you should focus on getting better and let the advocates worry about on getting the bills taken care of.
They will be able to tell you on the phone probably whether they think you have a case or not. And if they do, they'll call you into the office and you'll go from there. They don't charge you any money unless they get you a settlement. So call the advocates if you've been hurt in an accident. Their number is 801-355-5550. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or you can go to the chat feature on their website, utahadvocates.com.
Jackson, Bill Allred, and Gina Barberi on X96.
X96 is excited about all of the events going on at Snowbird. Snowbird, there's no off-season, no better place to plan a quick 24th of July weekend escape for Pioneer Day or Pioneer Day, whatever you prefer. Go to snowbird.com to book your stay. We have a chance to win passes to the 24th of July celebrations happening at Snowbird this weekend. We'll be giving them away all week. You'll get details at x96.com. I'm going to give you a keyword for your chance to win. Tram is the T word. T-R-A-M, tram. Text that to 33986.
All right. Is this sponsored?
Probably.
Is
Let's
it?
see.
Check, will you?
Yes, there we go. They have over 1,000 used vehicles in inventory, 6 locations: Orem, Sandy, Murray, Ogden, 90th South, plus trucks and imports located in Sandy or lhmusedcars.com.
Well, here he is. It's Bill Frost. He's here to talk about what's on the TV this week. He's writer for Slug Magazine, a monthly column there. He is also the host or co-host of the TV Tan podcast, now in its 3,000th episode.
Not quite.
Not quite?
It
Close.
feels like it, but no.
No. And also in a band called Magda Vega, which he's a fine guitar player. Here, Bill Frost. All Bill Frost stuff collected at
BillFrost.tv, yeah.
.tv. Yeah. Okay. Hi.
Hi. I had some notes about TV news from San Diego Comic-Con, but then I realized I don't want to step on geek news on the radio.
Please do it, because the stuff I'm going to be talking about is mostly movies.
Oh, okay, cool.
Except for one or two things.
All right. Yeah. Archer will be back for an 11th season.
Yeah, which was a surprise.
I thought we were done.
Yeah.
And the Orville's moving to Hulu?
That was another big announcement, was that Fox was they were just like, well, do we want it on TV? But we like Seth, don't want to piss him off. What do we do?
I thought it was doing okay, but no.
It was just doing okay, not great.
Yeah.
And so they said, well, let's throw him on Hulu. It'll give people an excuse to try Hulu.
Sure.
You know.
And most of them are probably watching it there already.
A lot of it had to do with Seth wasn't sure he was going to be able to deliver the season on time. He just was kind of overwhelmed with stuff, and so I just don't think I'll be able to. But Hulu, there's no restrictions. You know, you can just show up and do the show when you want.
Do it live.
Yeah, if you want.
The stage play.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Doom Patrol, a second season of that, but it's moving somewhere else.
It'll be available on the, what is it called?
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
Yes.
Doom Patrol was, this will be season 2, and it's based on a DC comic. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it was on the DC Universe app exclusively, and now I think it'll be available on both, won't it?
Maybe, if the DC app exists at
That's
that time.
also another question, yeah.
Yeah. And Picard.
I got the trailer for that coming up.
It'll look good.
Wow.
Really? A wow?
Here's the thing that we didn't expect. We didn't expect it to be a Next Generation reunion show.
Yeah.
It's not, but you're getting Mr. Data. You're getting 7 of 9. You're getting Riker. You're getting why can't I think of her name? Riker's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Mariana Sirtis.
Yeah.
Mrs. Riker.
Mrs. Riker.
Troy.
Deanna Troy. That's
Deanna
it. I couldn't
Troy.
think of the name. But they're all going to be on the show.
Yeah.
So, and it looks beautiful. It really does.
Yeah. And also there will be a second season of Nosferatu on AMC.
Really?
Yeah.
That's I mean, I haven't finished. It's not. You have to watch it week to week, but it's.
Yeah, it started off strong, got a little soggy in the middle. I think it's going to finish strong here.
Well,
Last night's episode was pretty good.
It's kind of dumb. I mean, it's,
well, yeah, it's totally dumb.
And Zachary Quinto, I like him a lot.
He's your personal friend.
Well, he is a personal friend, yes, but he overacts in this thing so.
Oh yes.
Oh my God! Sometimes it's embarrassing. Yes, Mr. Bing. Yes.
Dial it back a bit, Zach.
Yeah. And also premiering this week on Thursday. Another Life starring Katie Sackhoff. It's a alien invasion series. There's sort of alien artifact arrives at Earth, and everyone wants to know its origin, so they ship some astronauts to the other end of the galaxy to figure out where did this thing come from. But also they haven't told the public about this. So there's like a journalist played by Selma Blair who's investigating the whole thing.
So it's a series?
It's a series,
I thought it was a
yes.
movie. Okay.
It's
Is that poor Katie Sackhoff ever going to be able to do anything just on Earth?
Hey, she got to do Longmire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Pretty
That's-
earthbound.
There's one.
Yeah, that's right.
And also, season 2 of Workin' Moms will premiere on Thursday.
Okay.
Canadian import. It's exactly what it sounds like, Workin' Moms. It's a comedy. It's really funny.
And what's that on?
It is on Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yes.
I'll look for that.
And Friday, here's another superhero thing. The Boys.
This is, I'm very excited
what
about
is
this.
The Boys?
The Boys is a comic book about a world where there are superheroes.
Okay.
And they become celebrities, and it goes to their heads. And they think they can do anything. The Boys is a group of vigilantes who have decided they're going to get rid of the superheroes. None of them have powers. They're just people. And so they try to kill these because these superheroes are completely out of control. There's a scene in it where their Flash-type character, he can't stop for some reason, and he's like phasing through people and killing them, and it's a bloody.
That's kind of like
It's very violent.
The Avengers kind of touch on that a little bit. You know, like, oh, we ruined the city.
Yeah. Well, this takes it to a further extreme. It's bloody. It's violent. It's not for kids.
And it stars Carl Urban.
Carl Urban is your lead in there, and I'm looking forward to it. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
Amazon Prime Video, yeah, starting Friday. Also starring as their Superman type, Anthony Starr. You might remember him from Banshee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's Australian.
Yeah, he plays the Homelander.
The Homelander.
He's also a dick.
Yeah.
They're all dicks.
We're superheroes. We can do anything we want. You know.
Yeah. Also, the final season of Orange is the New Black drops on Friday.
Absolute last one.
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
I stopped watching that. It got kind of soft and soggy for a while, but I guess the last
they tried to make it
last
go too
couple of
long, I
seasons,
think.
it's picked up, I think.
Yeah. And also the series finale of Andy Mack on Friday. Little local flavor there.
That's right.
My kids like that.
It's my favorite show.
And coming up on Sunday on Epix, if you have that, if you've ever heard of that.
No.
Pennyworth, the Alfred origin story.
Now, Lee. No, and I poo-pooed it too. Lee saw it.
Yeah.
He saw like the first 4 or 5 episodes
Yeah.
of it, and he says it's actually quite good.
Yeah, it's set in the 60s. You got a young Alfred.
Is it Austin Powers?
No, because young
Maybe.
Alfred.
Maybe more Kingsman.
Okay.
Yeah, Alfred was trained as like an assassin or something like this, with the British military.
And he's a good butler.
And he doesn't want to follow in his father's footsteps. His father's a butler. You know how that's how it works in England. You know,
Yeah.
long line of butlers. You
People
know,
who buttle.
but he said it was actually quite good.
If you have Epix.
If you have Epix.
Yeah. It's on. It might be on your cable or satellite package, or maybe not.
Well, Channel 4 isn't, so maybe.
Yeah, if you have DirecTV, who knows what you get anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that is your week there.
That's the week.
Yeah.
I guess they debuted the Batwoman episode 1 at San Diego. They said it's not without its problems, but a good start. You know,
That's TV as well?
That's a CW TV.
Okay.
And
Is
that's
it Teenage Batwoman?
Rose Leslie?
Is it different? No, it's
Rose Leslie's Catwoman.
Catwoman.
You're thinking of-
Catwoman, Batwoman, I don't know. Ratwoman. They're all-
Batwoman was also on Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, Rose Leslie.
No,
Lily Rose.
Lily Rose.
Oh,
Different.
yeah.
You were close.
The tattooed one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But apparently she's pretty good in it.
Oh, yeah.
So
And Supergirl now has a different outfit and bangs, so you know she's grown up.
she's got bangs and pants.
Yes.
Not just to make her look
Because it's-
grown up,
Because it's cold in Canada.
because it's cold in Canada, and that's the reason that they're changing the costume.
Wait a minute, you have
She wouldn't feel it. She's Supergirl.
You have
You'd think, yeah.
bangs because it's cold. Your forehead's cold.
No, the pants.
Every
the
little bit
pants.
helps.
The pants.
Pants.
Gina, the
You said bangs.
Bangs and
Bangs
pants.
and pants. Listen.
The forehead gets cold if it's exposed.
These are your winter tips. Just a little early.
I guess I need bangs.
Why don't you talk to me?
Why
I'll
don't
help you out.
And you need pants.
Yeah.
I always have pants. Crash Redwood Road at Center Street in North Salt Lake. Both northbound and southbound lanes are blocked. Only the right lane is open in each direction. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 281. This is prior to 2100 North in Lehigh. Crash southbound Redwood Road at Center Street in North Salt Lake. I'm going to see if friends of the program have sent us anything. Nope, they're all trying to win the Snowbird prize. So if you see something, and you want to share it with friends of the program, and it's safe for you to do so, text it to us 33986.
All right.
Boners round 2 coming up. Here are your candidates. Boner candidate number 1. For number 2, we regret this error. And number 3, those liberal straws, they just don't work.
All right, we will have boners round 2, big boy news, all coming up. Geek news as well. Stand by for that. Everest Collision Repair.
Yeah, that's where you want to go if your car gets banged up. That's where I just, my CRV spent about a week there. We were out of town, so we just left it with them, and it looks great. Great. I mean, the back end of the car was just totally smashed in, and it looks...
Yeah, sometimes you're
good.
surprised after an accident. You look at your car and go, "Oh, this is never going to look good again." Everest does some magic.
Yes, they do. Everest Collision Repair. They've been friends of the program for a long time. We've all taken cars there. We've all had great experiences with Everest Collision Repair.
Oh, yeah. They do a good job.
Jamie Cox and his team at any location, I would presume. I always go downtown here and deal with Yvette and the fine people there. But Everest Collision Repair has a location in Sandy and one in Tooele as well. And right now, if you take in some stuff for the food bank or for the road home, make a donation, just canned goods or maybe some clothing, something like that, Everest will pay up to $200 of your repair. Locally owned and operated. Make sure you download the app as well on iTunes or Google Play. If you want to find out where all the locations are, go to everestcollisionrepair.com.
X96. Call 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
All right, remember that info. You're going to need it to vote for round 2 of your boners. Presenting to you now 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. See if it wins here. It's secured a spot in Boner Dome. Not boner of the day yet. It'll have to defeat round 1's winner. We did that an hour ago. We'll take them both and put them into the boner fight at 9:20 this morning is when you'll actually decide boner of the day. Right now, you're picking the champion for round 2, so choose wisely. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, so one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
X96 welcomes Real Big Fish and Bowling for Soup to the Depot Thursday, August 1st. Purchase your tickets at all SmithTix locations and SmithTix.com or the Depot box office.
All right, here's boner candidate number 1. What? On Monday, a Flathead woman, that sounds funny, doesn't it? It's Flathead Lake, Montana, up around Glacier Park. A Flathead woman caught a video of tourists in Glacier National Park hitting golf balls off Going to the Sun Road. Misty Morrow said that the road construction caused a delay on Going to the Sun Road. That is when visitors decided that they would take out their golf clubs and hit balls over the edge.
Picture at x96.com/live if you go look.
Now, Going to the Sun, I've been on that road a couple of times. I've gone to the Sun, and then I've gone the other way as well.
Yeah,
I've gone up,
I've done it too.
and I've gone down. It's windy, so if you're hitting golf balls over the side, a lot of times you'll be hitting them on part of the road below you, or animals that are there,
or people hiking,
or people
down.
hiking.
They
yeah.
hike all through there.
Or even if there was nobody down there, you're just littering.
A lifetime ban from all national parks sounds appropriate,
Yes.
said one poster. Glacier National Park had a statement.
Okay, wait a minute. How do they know? They got your picture up at all national parks and don't let you in? A lifetime ban from all...
Gina, that was just somebody in a comment section. Section. Don't just calm down. Calm down.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, I think you could. I mean, you could say that, and then if you get caught doing it, you know.
Okay.
But they reached out to Glacier National Park for a statement. They said the incident is under investigation. They said it was just egregious because anybody could have been hurt, and animals could have been hurt as well. Boner candidate number 1. 4. People just have no respect for nature or the beauty of what they're doing. They are yahoos everywhere. Here's boner candidate number 2. We regret this error. I'm just going to tell you this is going to be a hard boner candidate to beat today. The family of a Chicago infant who died last month after being cut from his mother's womb has been billed over $300,000 for his and his suspected killer's care, in addition to being misidentified by the hospital using the suspect's last name, reporters said. Marlon Ochoa Lopez was killed on April 23rd after Clarissa Figueroa and her daughter Desiree lured the 19-year-old to their apartment with the promise of baby clothes. You probably remember this story. And then instead, police say the pair strangled the young mother and cut the infant from her womb. The infant, Giovanni Jadiel Lopez, was taken to hospital after suspects called 911 to report that the baby had stopped breathing. And he died on June 14th. He was on life support for several weeks, 3 weeks. The pair was charged with first-degree murder, obviously, and they're awaiting trial. A new report from the Chicago Sun-Times reveals that the grieving family has now been slapped with over $300,000 in medical bills from the Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, where the infant and one of the suspects was treated.
Yeah, This isn't a fair contender today, I don't think.
Frank Avila, an attorney for the Ochoa Lopez family, told the paper that the family has received bills for hundreds of thousands of dollars dating back to April 23rd that charged the family for the infant's care. They were also billed for the care of Figueroa, one of the killers.
That's just
who initially
hideous.
claimed to hospital staff that she was actually the birth mother. Oh, you were the birth mother? Oh, okay. They wrote it down.
Hideous.
Yeah. To add further insult, the bills identified Giovanni with the suspect's last name, Figueroa. Advocate Christ Medical Center said in a statement, "We regret our error."
That's it?
Yeah.
No, I think there's got to be some
Boner
other
candidate number
repercussions to
2.
that.
We regret the error.
All right.
Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3. This is a good contender. Liberal straws don't work.
All right. Boner candidate number 3 for round 2.
It's strong.
Oh, all right.
Coming up after the big boy news and Opinioendo now, brought to you by
Invest in you with visual freedom from glasses or contacts. Visit Wait Vision in Lehigh or waitvision.com. That's WAITE vision.com.
Lenny Kravitz
Yes?
and Lisa Bonet
Yes?
put in a lot of work to get where they are today. They have showered at least once a month for the last several years.
Wow.
Opening up about their journey, 55-year-old Mr. Kravitz shared becoming friends again after their split was very
Aw, isn't that
difficult.
nice?
But we are friends again. You go through a marriage with somebody, you break up, and it's very difficult, Kravitz said in an interview. But Lisa and I put in the work, and we took the time so that we could become best friends again.
That's nice.
And our families are blended. He loves Jason Momoa just as much as he loves Lisa Bonet. I love her
I want to
husband.
go to their Thanksgiving dinner.
He's like,
How do I get to that?
I don't think you'd want to eat anything prepared in that house.
Look at him.
He's
x96.com/live.
Aren't
Those
they?
are all extremely good-looking people.
I think Lenny Kravitz doesn't look like he bathes very often.
When I met him, he smelled like pot. He didn't smell dirty. He smelled like pot.
Well,
I think he was
what,
clean.
which says to me, he doesn't wash the stink off the marijuana stink off of himself. Because you can do that, you know.
I just think it's always there.
Yeah, all right. Speaking of marijuana, Utah officials have selected 8 companies to grow the state's first legal cannabis crop.
Sorry, Carrie, they didn't pick
Yeah, they
you.
didn't pick Jack's Boys Pot Farms, Inc.
If you had added and melons,
Maybe.
And melons.
Jack's Boy Pot Farm and melons.
And melons.
Yeah, they might have, well, he seems like a nice...
Hey, look, I was just being straightforward, all right?
Half of the cultivation licenses went to existing Utah businesses, while the other half are based out of state but have Utah ties, according to a news release from the Utah Department of Agriculture.
Sure.
The agency was authorized to award, this is what I don't get. The agency was authorized to award up to 10 licenses, but they chose to hand out only 8 to avoid an overabundance of cannabis.
That's not going to be a problem. That's not a problem. Also, the Utah Ties is probably the guy who owns the company has a cabin here.
Well, let's see what it is. The priorities for us with issuing cultivation licenses were to avoid oversupply in the market with too much cannabis product.
You won't
as
have
well
that.
as, I don't think so,
Nope.
as well as ensuring enough competition to create a good quality product and good quality patient pricing at the pharmacies, said Andrew Rigby, Hemp and Medical Cannabis Program Director for the state's Department of Agriculture. 7 of the proposed cannabis cultivation sites are in rural areas. 1 is in an urban location. Oh, good. Rigby said he declined to give specific locations, but said 2 of the farms are proposed for Box Elder County. Others planned for Weber, Davis, Tooele, Washington, Sanpete, and Carbon counties. The proposed farm sites could change if they fail to win zoning approval from the involved counties or cities. Park City resident Jack Rubin's business, Wholesome Ag, was among the 8 winners of a cannabis growing license. Provided the company can pass the state's final checks, Rubin said he's working with a team of about 10 people, mostly residents, to get his cultivation off the ground.
See, Wholesome Ag. Now that's a name.
Yeah.
My name.
Your name was wrong,
My
Kerry.
name just was off-putting.
Well, I see if you just added and melons, I
know.
think, or tomatoes.
Well, I only have 5 acres, so that was also part of the problem.
Jack's Boy Pot Farm and vine-grown tomatoes.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see who the some of the out-of-state ones are, and I don't see it here.
I'd like to see the Utah ties to the out-of-state licenses.
Yeah, I don't. The state, they still have 2 remaining licenses that they can award, but if
It's
they
not too
do-
late for Jack's Boy Pot Farm.
Maybe they'll wait and see what
melons.
the demand is.
Yeah,
and then,
that's what they say they'll do. If it looks like there's more demand, they'll do it. So almost 50 million Americans live in poverty. And there's a list here of the poorest towns in every state. The poorest town in the country is Centerville, Illinois, with a median household income of only $16,715. So what is poverty defined as? A family of 4 living below $25,100. I don't know how a family of 4 could live on $25,100 at all.
You do without a lot of things.
I guess
It's a lot
like
of-
food.
I was going to say it's a lot of dollar menu is what it is.
I don't know how you do it. So of course I've got to scroll down here to find Utah, which is at the bottom of the list, of course, alphabetically. There we go, Utah. The poorest town in Utah. Do you want to guess?
Poorest town?
Yeah, the poorest town in Utah. It's not a tiny town.
It's not.
It's small, but it's not a little tiny speck on the map.
Boy, now you've really confused me.
Brigham City.
Brigham City.
You wouldn't think that.
The town.
I don't know. You drive through Brigham City, you don't feel like it's particularly.
Yeah, it seems.
So the median household income for the state of Utah is $62,518. So we do well with the percentage of people living in poverty in Utah. Only 9.7, or excuse me.
You mean
that's the town poverty rate?
No, not the state.
The state poverty, but still, that's pretty high. The state median income, if you compare it to that 25,000. Brigham City, 47,675. So the town poverty rate is 9.7%.
So it's the percentage, not because there's got to be smaller towns in Utah that have
Apparently
more people
not.
in poverty than
Apparently
that.
not.
You'd think.
Apparently not. Now, 9.7% of the town being at a poverty rate, that's you think, well, that's kind of bad. But just above it, Texas, a place called Fabens, Texas, or Fabens, Texas, I don't know. 48.8% of the town is living in poverty. They have a median income of just $24,612. I don't know how people can do it. The president of Puerto Rico says he will not seek re-election. That's not going to stop the protests. Are you aware of why the people are protesting in Puerto Rico against this guy?
Yeah, he's a tool.
It's called Chatgate.
Chatgate, yeah.
They uncovered. I mean, it's like he has spent all of his time in office on chat.
Oh, I thought this was like 1 or 2 things.
No.
This is
it's volumes and volumes of communications between him and various other government officials and town mayor. And
it's homophobic stuff.
There's homophobic stuff, and it's all
Racist.
just, and just the people of Puerto Rico are as dumb as mud, and they deserve what they get.
Yeah.
And they got the hurricane because they deserve. And he's Puerto Rican, but these people, they get what they deserved. And when these were all of these chats, and it's several years worth of stuff, and he when it was leaked, the people just went nuts. Rather than try to cover up for his lies and his homophobia and his racism, they took to the streets. You remember the mayor of that town, San Juan, that Donald Trump just hates? He hates her too, and has. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, he's just all kinds of horrible things about her. It'd be good if somebody took her out, he said. Yeah.
Yep, they've been protesting for a while.
Yeah. So in Puerto Rico, they have taken to the streets because their leader is corrupt and racist and homophobic.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sports weather traffic.
Oh, well, I'm excited. So you know what I'm doing in November, my sporting event that I'm going to, the Breeders' Cup.
Well, is that track going to be open?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And they're killing horses
no,
there.
No, they're not.
Well, how many?
That's not what the story is that I'm doing here.
Well, you brought it up.
It's very exciting.
Okay.
So Maximum Security. You guys remember
Yes.
Maximum Security?
He won, right?
I've experienced it all the time.
He won, and then they took it away from him because they said he bumped into another horse.
That's right.
And so they've just announced that Maximum Security will be running in the Breeders' Cup. So
he can bump into more horses.
no, he's going to be behaved this time. I haven't decided if I'm going to bet on him yet. We got plenty of time
If
left.
he lives through it.
He will be. Don't stop.
Well, I don't know.
Don't ruin the Breeders' Cup for me.
I'm not the one killing horses.
Nobody's killing horses.
Something is.
It happens in places.
Yeah, many times in Santa Anita.
All right, never mind. Weather, never mind that either.
Yeah.
It's going to be up over 100 today. Could be 102, 105 possible in some places.
Jesus.
I'm not letting Mohammed play soccer today, much to his dismay, I'm sure. Traffic, friend of the program says there is a dead animal in the left lane of the 85 southbound before the new Bingham Highway. It's pretty big, probably a deer, or it could be one of the rats from Carrie's yard. Those are pretty big too.
Haven't seen him for a while.
Let's see. We've got. So there was a substance that spilled on I-84 eastbound in Hennifer. It was powdered cement. They've identified it. I-84 remains closed while cleanup's continuing. Plan for delays if you're leaving Morgan and headed toward I-80 to Wyoming. Crush Redwood Road, Center Street, North Salt Lake. Both northbound and southbound lanes are blocked. Only the right lane is open each direction. That's traffic.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. I'm telling you, this is a strong candidate. Liberal straws don't work. Straws have apparently emerged as and I'm talking drinking straws, have emerged as the latest issue on the campaign trail. President Trump's re-election campaign is selling a 10-pack bundle of branded plastic straws for $15. Why is the Trump campaign selling straws with the word Trump on them? Simple. Because liberal paper straws don't work, according to the store for Trump's re-election campaign. The new addition to the Trump store was announced through an email by campaign manager Brad Parscale. I am so over paper straws, he said, and I'm sure you are too. Much like most liberal ideas, paper straws don't work and they fall apart instantly. That's why we just launched our latest product, official Trump straws. Now you can finally be free from liberal paper straws.
So, what's your health care plan? Well, we don't have one, but we've got the straws suck.
I get it. The straws suck.
Yeah.
Liberal straws don't work. Boner candidate number 3.
All right, let's review the first 2 and vote.
Good candidate. 4. There was a road delay on the Going to the Sun Highway at Glacier National Park. And so that gave these yahoos, they thought, an excuse to get golf clubs out of the trunk of their car and start hitting golf balls off into the wilderness, where they could litter the wilderness with golf balls and do damage to people or animals. Boner candidate number 2, we regret the error. The family of a Chicago infant who was, I know this is a strong candidate, cut from his mother's womb, was billed $300,000 for his and the suspect's care by the hospital. They regret the error. And boner candidate number 3, liberal straws don't work.
All right, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll go up against winner of round 1. We'll throw them both into the Boner Dome at 9:20. That's when you'll decide boner of the day with Boner Fight. Right now, you got to pick the champion for round 2. 1, 2, or 3. The one that you think should win this round. Put that number in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Or let's see, you can go online, x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting July 22nd, 2019. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth, 877-602-9696. You decide, 300 seconds to do it. Round 2, here we go.
When Carrie, Bill, and Gina run out of Sports original alternative X96.
All right, let's award round 2 of your boners.
And that's brought to you in part by liquid marijuana.
Okay.
Story to be told
A
later.
story to be told later.
Yes.
And is it really Monday again? Look at the bright side. You can always go to Gracie's, enjoy live jazz music this evening featuring David Halliday and the Jazz Vespers Quartet. Gracie's is for adults only.
So we had boner candidate number 1 for it's those guys driving golf balls off the Going to the Sun Highway in Glacier National Park. Boner candidate number 2, we regret this error. The family of a Chicago infant who was cut from his mother's womb, and the mother obviously died. The baby died later, but the family billed $300,000 for his and the suspected killer's care by a hospital. They're not going to have to pay it, but just the fact that they kept getting these bills is just awful. And boner candidate number 3, liberal straws don't work. The Trump campaign is selling 10 plastic straws in a bundle for $15, you morons.
People will buy them.
Because liberal paper straws don't work. Trevor won some real big fish tickets from us for being a random voter. And the winner, listen, I'm telling you, number 3 did quite well.
Oh, good.
But not well enough to beat number 2. We regret the error.
All right. That's your winner of round 2. It now goes forward to Boner Fight. Might be Boner of the Day. We'll have to defeat the winner of round 1's voting that we did an hour ago. Boner Fight happens at 9:20. That's when you'll decide Boner of the Day. Sponsor?
Geek News on the Radio brought to you by Cabin Fever, located in the heart of Trolley Square, celebrating birthdays, marriages, new babies, pool parties. It's Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
All right, brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. And it basically covers San Diego Comic-Con, all the big news.
There was a lot.
There was a lot, and I'm not going to be able to get to all of it because I have 5 minutes, so let's go. We started off the week learning that Avengers Endgame officially passed Avatar to become the highest-grossing film of all time.
And I heard Kevin Feige lie saying, oh, no, that we weren't really going for that. We just wanted to do well. We just compete with ourselves.
Then we got a trailer for a show I'm really looking forward to, HBO's Watchmen TV series.
Yeah.
Takes place 10 years after the events of the comic book. They're saying it's not a sequel to the movie because the movie ended a little differently than the comic book. But it looks great. Find that trailer online and watch it. We learned that Archer was renewed for season 11, which was a surprise. And they did a spoiler. I'm not going to do it here on the radio about how this new series starts. This new season starts.
Okay.
It's out there if you want to find it.
It's on the podcast. It's on Geek Show, and I do warn you to fast forward if you don't want a spoiler. It involves the season finale of the upcoming episode, which I think is this week or next week. We also we got to look at the new season 3 of Westworld, which is a great trailer. Which features...
I kind of was out last season, and now this makes me excited about it again.
Yeah, go back and watch it. I thought it was a fine season, but go and find that trailer, watch it. It's we're introduced to, well, we don't know what to call it. Everyone's calling it Nazi Land. I don't think that's what it's called.
No.
You know, maybe the creators of the show could have told us that so that we're not calling it Nazi Land because you're holding back information. Yeah, just so much news. It's all over the internet. But then the big winner, though, was Marvel. They weren't going to be at San Diego. And then they heard that Warner Brothers decided not to do anything. And they went, oh, okay, we'll do it. We got some stuff to show you.
And they did a lot.
And boy, did they deliver. First of all, they showed up. They had some footage of the Black Widow movie, which is in post-production right now. Getting ready to roll out. Apparently, they did not release the footage online, but the footage is described as fight scenes that rival anything that Mission Impossible or anything has ever done. Apparently, just some amazing fight scenes. Then they introduced the cast of the Eternals, which is their next big project. And so, you know, it was a space comic, so I didn't read it. So that means I have to pick it up and get familiar with it. They brought out the cast: Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Salma Hayek, just introduced everybody for the Eternals. They said it's going to be full-on Jack Kirby. He's the guy who created and wrote it for the old days. Then they introduced the cast for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is a TV series, short run, I think 6 episodes, they said. It'll be on Disney+. And they talked about how Anthony Mackie, his Captain America costume fits snugly.
Uh-oh.
Is what they revealed.
He's getting fat?
No, he's pregnant.
Oh.
They also, Baron Zemo will be back as the villain. Daniel Bruhl will be the villain for that.
Baron who?
Baron Zemo was the character's name.
Okay, I thought you said Zemo.
That's a different villain.
Yeah.
Then they introduced the cast for Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Now that's the comic book title was Master of Kung Fu. As a character, they tried to get the rights to the TV series Kung Fu, David Carradine.
Oh, yeah.
And they couldn't get it, so they said, well, we'll just create our own. And so they created Shang-Chi. And they're bringing, the villain was announced in that. It will be the real Mandarin. Not Ben Kingsley, who played
The fake Mandarin.
The fake Mandarin, the real Mandarin, because the name of the movie is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That is the name of that. It's very cool. Aquafina is also in it, and that'll be interesting. Then they brought out WandaVision. It's the name of the TV show.
What?
It's Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany playing their characters again, Wanda Maximoff and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
And they introduced a character named Monica Rambeau, who, if you read the comics, you know, was a character, I believe it was Spectrum was the name of the character. She was a Captain Marvel for a period of time, played by Tiana Paris. Now, she appears in the Captain Marvel movie as a child.
Okay.
Monica Rambeau's
Okay, yeah.
character is in the Captain Marvel movie as a child, but she's all grown up here. They also introduced the Loki TV show.
There's too many shows.
It's getting too confusing.
I know. Loki TV show. They talked about that. It takes place, let's see, it says 2012 version of the character, who in Endgame stole the Infinity Stone, but will take place after Endgame. Part of the mystery is where he's been and what he's been up to, so that will be the series. They announced a Doctor Strange sequel called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Scarlet Witch is going to partner with Doctor Strange in that one, so we're going to be seeing a lot of her in the coming years. They also introduced a animated series called What If? For Disney Plus, which was a great comic book when I was a kid, because it always asks you, what if, Peggy Carter was Captain America? What if by accident somebody else got the powers?
It's not part
of
the universe. It's its own.
It's all standalone, but it's always hosted by a character named the Watcher. It is my job not to interfere, but to merely observe. But what if? Is how he would introduce it.
We wondered what would happen.
Exactly. And the voice of the Watcher will be Jeffrey Wright. Perfect for that. Disney Plus also a Hawkeye event series featuring Jeremy Renner and a comic book favorite character, Katie Bishop, who is Hawkeye now. And the theme of it will take place during the time that he was Ronin.
They're not worried about oversaturating things.
No, they're not. It's Marvel's world. We just live in it. They announced a new Thor movie some time ago, but they told us it will be called Thor: Love and Thunder, and it will feature the return of Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
As her character.
Yeah.
Now, see, what happened is that the director of Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, he read this current run on Thor that Jason Aaron wrote that made Jane Foster Thor. Thor was no longer worthy to wield the hammer, and she was, and she becomes Thor.
He's a fat beer guzzler.
Yeah, and so that's what they're going to do with this. So here's the slate. Black Widow, May 1st, 2020. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, fall 2020. Eternals, November 2020. Shang-Chi, February 2021. WandaVision, spring of 2021. Loki, spring of 2021. Doctor Strange, May 7th, 2021. What If, summer 2021. Hawkeye, fall 2021. Thor: Love and Thunder, November 5th, 2021. He ran out of time. He was being ushered off the stage. He said, I didn't even get a chance to tell you about Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, the Fantastic Four, and Mutants, he said.
Katie's very excited.
And we beat Avatar.
He then introduced Mahershala Ali to the stage. And let it be known that Blade is returning.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Mahershala Ali called Kevin Feige after he won his Academy Award. He says, I want to be Blade.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
And Kevin Feige said, well, I don't know.
We'll have to ask, what's his name?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, if that's okay.
Nobody's asking Wesley Snipes anything
The
anymore.
IRS is asking for
IRS
their
is-
money.
yeah.
That's what they're asking. All right.
Crash northbound I-15 at 146 South, off to the right shoulder. Crash northbound State Street at South Temple, right lane blocked there. Some sort of police incident northbound I-15 at 600 North.
I've
in
been
Salt
here the
Lake.
whole time.
We're your alibis.
Yeah.
Crash northbound I-15 just prior to 2100 North in Lehigh. The right lane is blocked there. That's traffic.
All right. Thank you very much. We will take a break. We will be back. Boner Fight is on the way. Stand by for that. Brooklinen.com is the website to go to. And the promo code you want to use there is my last name, Jackson. Jackson is what you do. 102 today, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How warm was it driving into work this morning? I want to say it was 75 or 80.
it was 80 something.
80, yeah.
You're not sleeping well in that. No, but you would be if you could get into something a little lighter, a little airy. Now that the warmer weather is here, switch up your sheets and duvets, something breezy and soft and lightweight. It's their new linen collection. Beautiful assortment of colors. Brooklinen's got 35,000 plus 5-star reviews, more than any other online bedding company. And they have luxury linen sheets and robes without the luxury markup. 12 different beautiful linen colors and patterns to choose from. They look great. I look forward to trying them someday. It's in their name, so you know it's good. Brooklinen's newest linen collection. It's amazing. I couldn't recommend their products more for graduates, newlyweds, friends, or family. Treating yourself to the bedroom upgrade that you deserve. Brooklinen.com giving you an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get 10% off and free shipping when you use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. They are so confident in their products. All their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. But the only way to get 10% off and free shipping is to use the promo code Jackson at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com, the promo code Jackson. These really are the best sheets ever. Because
they put a man on the moon?
Well, just because we'd been talking Friday about what songs are we going to play for the moon landing, and I forgot about that one. So
anytime I can hear that song, I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We got Boner Fight coming up.
I watched a bunch of space movies. I watched 2 space movies on Friday, I think it was. Gravity and Apollo 13, which I'd never seen.
Was it?
I thought I'd seen it, but then as I started to watch it.
Was it specifically because of all the space talk?
Yeah. I mean, they were all over. I was going to watch The Right Stuff. I haven't seen that for years, and I remember really enjoying that movie. But I didn't get to it. Maybe I will this week. So.
Well, you guys were out Friday night. I couldn't go because I was picking Muhammad up from camp. But you guys went to
Patton
Oswalt. How was that?
Great.
It was better than I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Really?
He.
That's saying something.
Now, I haven't seen him live before, but I saw his last Netflix special, which was good. But then there were parts of it I kind of didn't like, and I don't need to go into specifics about that. But it was so tight, so beautifully handled.
The set was flawless.
It really was. It was
really
everything landed. Just absolutely. When it gets on Netflix, watch it.
I mean, he's one of my favorites anyway.
It was interesting, he's able to do it in a way that doesn't seem unnatural, but you could tell, but you know that almost every bit of that is very well planned out and very precise. It's like, and I've mentioned this before, but Jerry Seinfeld, who I've heard is just if you watch Seinfeld do stand up, it's just the best. But he takes a yellow legal pad and he's always going over everything and choosing different words. This was like that, I think. It was just, oh man,
it was just a flawless set,
and a huge number of friends of the program there, including the very first person that said hello to me as I was walking in. Went, "Hey, Bill," and I said hi, and he said, "You don't know me, do you?" And I said, "Hi," and he said, "It's me, Atropos."
Oh,
the mysterious Atropos identified himself in public.
Yeah, he did, and I hadn't seen him for years, and I said, "My God, you've gotten really handsome." I mean, he looked great.
Gotten handsome.
He looked great. I mean, he looked healthy, and I bet it's over 10 years since I've seen him.
Yeah,
the time he came to the studio.
It's been a while since I've seen him either.
Yeah, and
it was like nearly everybody I knew was at that show, and
it was just like, "Hey, Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Hi, Carrie."
I mean, people that I know personally. I was like, "Oh, hey, it's you."
Hey, well,
and friends of the program. So it was definitely our crowd.
Well, we
had a
all
great
have
show.
the same taste, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. We will be back. Boner Fight is on the way. Stand by. Randlife.com.
That's where you want to go to get a mortgage. That's for dang sure.
You've gone there to get a mortgage?
I have. I've done a mortgage there and a refinance there as well. Look, there's Rand Life has some programs. If you are a first-time home buyer, they have partnered with the Housing Authority to make this more affordable for you, home ownership. So check them out for that. Also, if you are self-employed and you've tried to get a mortgage before, it's difficult. It's because you can't demonstrate just this steady income. Your income goes up and down and up and down. Well, Rand Life specializes in working with people who have had difficult times getting into a home because of that. So if you're self-employed or a business owner, Rand Life has that special self-employment loan created for those scenarios. It's a product designed to help you. It doesn't if you don't reflect the standard income levels. So Rand Life, they're a local company. Give them a call. They like to talk to you on the phone, 801-478-4500, or their website, randlife.com.
Technology. 877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
You will need that information to vote for Boner of the Day. Boner Fight happens in about 5 minutes. So before that, a reasonable amount of news brought to you by
Utah First Credit Union has auto loan interest rates as low as 1.99% this July. Visit a branch or apply online. Utah First, you'll find liberty and low rates for all.
A Himalayan black bear attacked a zoo worker while she guided a safari tour at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort in Pennsylvania on Saturday. The bear reached through the wire fence of its enclosure, grabbed the staff member, pulled her closer, and then bit her arm. The worker had worked at the resort's Wildlife Academy for about a month. The resort said in a statement the bear was engaged in order to release the arm, whatever that means.
Engage, like, hey, over here.
Hey, look at this. Keys.
A more delicious arm over here.
The associate was immediately extricated. The bears at the park are surrounded by 3 fence enclosures, and the safari tour takes place through a space between the second and third fence. The employee who was bitten was standing between the first and second fences at the time of the inkadink. Corey Young, director of lodging at the Farmington Resort, said that the woman was bitten on the bicep area of the arm and that the bear broke the skin. The zoo worker was flown to a trauma center for evaluation and treatment. A spokesman for West Virginia University Medical Center told Action 4 News that she was in critical condition on Sunday. These Himalayan black bears are they're big. They got big jaws. Officials have now identified 2 men who were killed Saturday when a truck carrying 7 passengers drove off the road and down a steep mountainside in Weber Canyon, or in Weber County, near Huntsville. The crash occurred on Middle Fork Drive in Sunridge. Oh, I know exactly where that is. In unincorporated Weber County, about 17 miles outside of Huntsville. My mom and my family still has a cabin up there, Sunridge, and some of those roads are
they switchbacky kind of.
Yeah, and some of them are really steep, and then there's a couple that have big drop-offs, and they're just dirt, or hard packed dirt. They grade them, but they're hard packed dirt. And the crash occurred. The truck rolled numerous times down the mountainside. All of the passengers were ejected. Manuel Tony Lopez and Leon Hong both died from their injuries. The Weber County Sheriff's Office would like to express our condolences to the family and friends of both men, the office said. Authorities on Saturday were investigating, but they think that darkness and alcohol played a factor in the crash. As of Sunday, no further details available. 5 other people were injured in the crash. Yeah, those are pretty treacherous roads. People drive 4-wheelers along them a lot, and this is a weird story. A man who spent decades in prison for fatally stabbing his wife was released after being too old to pose a threat anymore, only to be convicted of a nearly identical crime.
What?
It took jurors in Maine less than an hour to find Albert Flick, 77, guilty in the 2018 murder of a homeless mother, Kimberly Doby, who was stabbed 11 times. The crime is eerily similar to the slaying that sent Flick to jail for 25 years in 1979. He stabbed his then-wife Sandra Flick 14 times. Both of these crimes committed in front of children. Flick was
and
free.
They just let him out because they thought, he's
77,
right.
He's feeble. He's not going to do anything anymore. He was freed in 2004. He was sent back to jail in 2010 for assaulting another woman.
Well, clearly
The judge at the time ignored the recommendation for a longer sentence, saying Flick couldn't be a threat because he was too old.
Can I posit a guess?
No.
He had some expensive health issue that they didn't want to pay for anymore.
It does not
That's my guess.
It does not indicate that. And there's a picture of him here. He looks old, but he doesn't look sick. Let's see.
I can't think of any good reason to let him go, honestly.
He's too old.
None at all.
It's Boner Fight.
Ah, dang it.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
Well, I'll have to just hold the nudist story, I guess.
Well, we still have time.
Okay. I'll do the nudist story in a little while. But now it's time for the Boner Fight, where the winner from round 1, a good candidate, goes up against the winner of round 2, also a very strong candidate. Please consider carefully when you're voting. Boner candidate number 1, the Jihad Squad. This is the 4 representatives, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Representative Ayanna Pressley. They were put on a poster put out by the Illinois
Republican.
Republican county chair. And they did it up like a movie poster. They had them wearing ajibs and really had, twisted looks on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
Political jihad is their game. If you don't agree with their socialist ideology, you're racist. There was an outcry from leaders of both parties in Illinois. This is not appropriate, and it was taken down, but still. And then Boner candidate number 2, we regret the error. The family of a Chicago infant who was cut from his mother's womb was billed $300,000 for the child and the suspected killer's care by the hospital. So there you go.
All right. So you've got to decide of these 2 candidates which one is the worst and therefore should be Boner of the Day. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number. Put that number, that single digit, in the message of a text. Then text that to 33986. Or you can call the producer's booth, 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner Fight, July 22, 2019, and vote there. You got less than 300 seconds to do it, so let's go. This is Boner of the Day. ZeroRes.com.
It's National Carpet Cleaning Month, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's celebrate.
The best way to celebrate is by getting Zero Res to come and clean your carpets. And they are offering $33 per room. And then if you get 3 rooms cleaned, they will do a 4th room for free. Now, of course, some restrictions apply, but minimums apply as well. But if you get a hold of Zero Res, they'll tell you what those are.
And when I have them come clean carpet, I always have them do something else to, like clean and seal my countertops, or upholstery, or tile. I've had them do.
Zero Res has this patented cleaning process where they don't use any detergents or any soaps or anything like that, and or any chemicals, and that way it dries faster and it doesn't stink. So get a hold of Zero Res. They're very, very professional guys and women, 15 years in the business now. And remember, 3 rooms for $33. You'll get the 4th room clean for free. Call Zero Res 2880 801-2880 or go to the website ZeroRes.com.
It's a title we gave him all by ourselves with no vetting whatsoever. And if we say it, it must be true. Radio from Hell on X96.
Yeah.
Right.
Just mention the Let's Go Eat show that they mentioned in the one before that. There was a little technical problem. There should have been a new show available yesterday with Luz Escamilla and Stan Penfold running for mayor. There was a technical problem. We're re-recording that episode tomorrow.
You're going to recreate the magic?
Yeah. Sure.
They both agreed to come in?
They did.
Oh,
We're going to
good.
do it here just right after the show.
Oh, okay.
In the other room. So.
All right. So time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by a train wreck.
Train wreck. And the Honda Giant, Stockton 12 Honda in Sandy. Find your Honda at stockton12honda.com.
Let's see. We had Boner candidate number 1, the Jihad Squad, the Illinois Republican Committee chair people putting up a poster of Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar and those people, like a movie poster there, the Jihad Squad. And if you don't watch out, if you agree with them, you're a racist. Going against We Regret the Error, the hospital charging the family of the Chicago infant who was cut from his mother's womb, billed $300,000 they charged him. And then it turns out they said, oh, we shouldn't have done that.
But still, getting that in the mail and...
Ella won a Boner t-shirt. Lovely name, Ella. And very close voting. But as you might suspect, by 3 votes, Boner candidate number 2, we regret the error.
All right. That's your Boner of the Day for July 22nd, 2019. It is now qualified to be Boner of the Week.
I was gonna do this. Should I do it now?
Sure.
The nudist story?
Yeah. Scientifically impossible to have a perfect relationship with your in-laws, they say.
Scientifically?
That's what it says here.
What does this have to do with nudism?
I don't think I'll tell you now.
What? I'm really...
You don't think that that's what was going to come here?
It doesn't seem to
Did you think... Well, no, of course it doesn't.
Okay,
That's why it's written that way.
Oh.
Maybe you give kids sugar before bedtime, and maybe they give your kids sugar before bedtime. Your in-laws.
The in-laws,
Yeah.
okay.
Or maybe they endlessly nag you about having another baby. But in a competition for the craziest in-laws is this. Steph is a clear winner, as she discovered during her first stay at her husband's parents' house recently. Everything was fine until I found out my father-in-law is a nudist. I saw him watching TV without clothes on when I came home from dinner with my husband. After his shower, he just walked around the house naked to the laundry. He doesn't even wear a towel. So if seeing your father-in-law's bits and pieces after dinner isn't enough to turn your stomach, Steph's husband's response definitely will. When Steph confronted her husband about her dad's nudist habits, he said, "Oh, that's just the way he is." I told my father-in-law.
That's just the way he is.
Yeah. I told my father-in-law I found it disrespectful that he can't wear clothes around other people. She
be
said.
a nudist when you don't have guests in your home.
This led to an argument where he kept responding with, "It's his house and he can do what he wants."
Well, yeah, but...
And I said, "Well, I'm done." And I booked a hotel for the night and changed my flight home. My husband told me I was overreacting.
No.
And didn't support me.
Uh-oh.
He's currently still at his parents' house while I am back home.
And this is a new marriage, it sounds like?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Well, it's meeting the in-laws for the first time.
Might not last.
So this was all debated on Reddit.
No,
Many commenters thought that the wife was that the father was a bad host.
Well, yeah.
For refusing to cover up. But then other people said, well, it is his house and he should be able to wander around however he wants.
No. Then you don't have guests. If your attitude is, it's my house and I can do what I want, then you say, well, great, come to visit. You'd probably be more comfortable at a hotel.
And then other people said your husband should have told you in advance
Yes.
that this is the kind of thing that you could expect.
You would think that would come up in conversation somewhere before.
So I remember we were staying with friends in Florida. Now, we slept on my wife and I slept on a bed that had a view of the kitchen. Now, I slept through everything, but the man of the house, my wife wakes up to see him standing in front of the refrigerator with the door open, totally naked.
Yeah, no.
And he gets something. Oh, wait a minute. And he gets something out of the refrigerator and turns around and sits down at the table and drinks some milk out of a carton and eats a couple of cookies. Then he puts the milk back in the refrigerator, and she's kind of like, not trying not to look. I mean, and pretending she's still asleep. And then he goes back into the bedroom, totally naked. And so the next morning, she told me about it, and so I said to my friend Nancy, your husband Dave came out, and she said, "Oh, is he doing that again?
Is he doing that again?
He's asleep. He doesn't know he's doing it. He walks in his sleep. He sleeps naked, and
That's what he
walks,
tells her. I have no.
No, listen. I know Dave too. I believed it 100%. And so you'd say, well, then you should put on some clothes when you have guests in case you do that.
Yes.
But yeah, he was just totally asleep.
This rampant nudity.
It happened again, as a matter of fact, while we were there.
Twice?
And it was in fact. And then my wife kind of, he's out. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
After the first time, why aren't you sleeping with the door closed? That's my question.
I don't remember why there was there was just a view that you couldn't block for some reason.
Close the door. All right, we will take a break. We'll be back. Got to tell you about New Dwello Homes.
Oh, yes.
You need a new home without a view of the kitchen from the bedroom.
You need a new Dwello. That's what you need. And that's why you text the word money to 62687, and then the New Dwello folks will send you an interactive map, builder map. Well, there are communities where there's no nudity allowed.
Well, they're new build communities and
not nude build communities.
Careful,
new
and
build.
it's not New Dwello. I know.
No, it's New Dwello, and it's new build communities.
And they're going to help you with some down payment assistance. And these are government programs, grants, and credits and things that you could find on your own, but it would take you a long time. They've done all the legwork for you.
Up to $28,124 in down payment assistance for people who qualify. New Dwello has that interactive builder map put together, 800 new home communities and hundreds of builders. So just text the word money to 62687, and then you'll be able to learn more about what you need to do to qualify. The word is money, and it's 62687.
Win tickets to the big
I play that clip for two reasons.
Yeah. Prithee.
It's Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes.
Today is the 60th anniversary
Jeez.
of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
It's terrible.
Released in
You've seen it?
1959.
Yep. My dad made me watch it.
Now, I would hazard to guess that more people have not seen it.
Yeah.
No, my dad, a comedy aficionado, said it was not meant to be a comedy.
No.
But he said you need to watch this, and it is hilarious.
It is hilarious. But it was meant, and that's why it's such a great schlocky movie, is because Ed Wood thought he was making a serious masterpiece.
Yeah.
But it didn't
But
turn
like,
out that way.
there's a grave scene, and they're like cardboard headstones, and they like fall over
Well, they had a
in the
small
scene.
budget, you know.
I mean, you had to make them with like no money.
Yeah.
I mean, the flying saucers are pie plates
On strings.
on fishing
Yeah.
poles. You know, I mean, but he was
Yeah.
serious. He was
yeah.
genuinely heartfelt. But anyway, so it's the 60th anniversary of that, what is considered a classic film. I don't think that's the direction that we were taking with the X poll tomorrow.
No.
We want to know what classic good movies you still have not seen.
Like I had not seen Apollo 13 before this week.
Which surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has gaps in their...
No, I mean, so the new trailer for Top Gun came out.
Yeah,
Carrie's,
I've not seen it.
my husband, not seen Top Gun.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I don't know
Like-
how you guys are still married.
Like,
Has he seen Grease?
no.
See?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Don't you remember? He didn't even have a TV when we got together.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a reader.
He's a
Oh, that's right. He
reader.
likes books.
Books.
But I said to him, I think you will like Top Gun just watching the trailer, because he's kind of a airplane nut. Like, he has this app on his phone. It's a flight tracker app. Like, if we're out walking somewhere, he'll go, and it's always a bet. He'll go, that's an Airbus, and it's on its way to Munich, from L.A. to Munich. And he will, and you can pull it up on your phone, and it says, yeah, that's a...
Why would you want to know that? I don't,
He
that's what I don't
will-
understand.
I hope the Department of Homeland Security
Yeah.
isn't aware of
My
his,
Egyptian
of his
husband.
hobby.
And my people are aboard.
But I said, I think you'll like this new Top Gun because they do all their own flying in it. It's not CG stuff. I think you'll. So I maybe have talked him into watching the new one.
I bet not.
But
Is it playing at the Broadway?
no, I don't
Boots?
think it will.
Is it at the Broadway Boots?
That's right. You're going to have to get him to not see a movie that's not a... Now, Brett says Gone with the Wind is an example of one that he has not seen. He says, I haven't seen it, so it might be good. It's not, Brett.
No, it is. It really is.
I thought it was boring. I
Well,
didn't care for it.
save it for tomorrow. We're doing an expo tomorrow, so be thinking of your classic movies that you think everybody should have seen, but you haven't seen. So save it for tomorrow.
Yeah. Chris is saying Citizen Kane. He's not seen. There's a lot of people who have not seen Citizen
They
Kane.
just know about it.
They just know that it's hailed as the best movie ever made. But you need to see it. But when you see it, remember, it's important to remember the time that it was made.
They didn't have color film, okay?
Let's start there. And a lot of the techniques that he created and were not around.
No, he was kind of a genius.
Casablanca is another one that comes up.
That's see again. That's a good movie to see.
Well, save it for tomorrow. We'll talk about it.
I
in
think
the
there are
expo
probably others.
tomorrow.
We're all right. Why are you making us stop talking?
Because we're going to talk about it
she's-
tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
tired.
And there'll be other people that will, weigh in and have different movies or some of the same ones. I bet a lot of people have never seen Wizard of Oz. You'd think everybody had seen. They used to play Wizard of Oz. What was it? Every Easter, I think it was.
It was once a year.
Yeah, I think it was around Easter.
on television. I just remember that. Here's someone who's never seen Shawshank Redemption. Yes, I have seen Shawshank.
I'm not sure I have.
I saw it once. And that was plenty.
I get it mixed up with the Green Mile for some reason.
It's better than the Green Mile.
I liked the Green Mile. I shouldn't have liked it, but I did. It's corny. The Green Mile is corny.
Shawshank is not corny. Shawshank's kind of hard.
Is it Edward Norton?
No, it's Tim Robbins.
Tim Robin.
No, I haven't seen it.
And Morgan Freeman.
You seen Jacob's Ladder with Tim Robbins?
Yeah, that's a terrible movie.
I loved it.
Why?
Because it was weird.
They're remaking it.
It was a horrible, and it was all a dream. None of this ever happens. Now the people you see in this, none of them.
Thanks
are
for
real.
ruining it. Thanks for ruining it for the people who have not seen
30-year-old
it.
movie.
Thanks for ruining it. Way to go. That's the one
Hated
thing it
that
had.
movie.
That's the one thing it had going for it, and you ruined it for people.
The spoiler king
Yeah.
wagging his finger at you.
30-year-old
When was the last time I spoiled a movie? I haven't done it for a long time.
All right, let's do the promo and get out of here.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show,
Utah Word of the Day happens at 7 a.m. with those funny-sounding Utahns.
Oh,
X-Poll is back at 7:45. We want to know what classic movie you still haven't seen.
And Tuesday means Todd will be here at 9 a.m. with a tune for us.
I sigh because that means I have to write a Utah Word of the Day. Don't miss Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
All right. Are we good? You all right?
It's just something else I have to do.
Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
And melons.
I think Corey's next.
X96.